Eminence. Go throw them knees up in the air.
9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. Rushing like a bullet into the end zone. Defense, hold up, no scoring in the red zone. Throwing up pick 6, I feel like I'm Josh Rowe. Throwing downs over the shoulder, think I'm Jack Winmo. I need me back to back, trying to be like Vulture. Cause a storm, cause I'm mighty, it's in the culture. Esports TV, YouTube, Twitch, SFL Live, tuning you don't wanna miss. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Next level like my entertainment. NXT on the stream, 8 p.m. on the beat. Catch me on the cam like I'm SFL commish. Yeah, you only got one chance, you can never miss. For the glory, revolution, feel my fury. Cause I'm a legend out in Canton, and I'm playing with dragons. I'm the king of this legion. SFL action, tune in this season. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up.
What's up, SFL Nation? Welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J.Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today and tonight, or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. Really appreciate it, y'all. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Diggy. Thank you so much for being on the show with me. Unfortunately, everybody, at any time. Jordan actually couldn't make it this week. He had a prior engagement, but it doesn't stop the show, all right? So, Diggy, what's up?
Oh, not a lot. You know, everybody's in real life stuff outside of the league. Mm-hmm. I'm here, good to go, and ready to focus on some football.
That's right. That's right. So let's get it going. So we're going to do our week 9 review, of course, to do our picks for week 10 and to see how we fare and where we ride or not. Then we have our topic question of the day presented by Joseph Lima of Portland. Should a trophy be named after Matt Wilson in loving memory of him? And a secondary question for me, if that is the case, if Matt Wilson gets one, does this mean that everyone that we've lost will receive something as well? So that's going to be a part of it. And my 4th and Goal interview will include Box Highwind, Liam Crowter from the undefeated London Knights. I have Skinny Washington, cornerback from the Tulsa Desperados. And I'm also finishing things up with Mike St. Green, Damon Simien, and Eddie Gage. Just having like a little barbershop talk, if you will. So it's going to be an amazing show. On to week 9 review. So on September the 2nd, the Jacksonville Kings took on the Florida Storm, and Florida won 34-16 in the eye. Vancouver Legion took on the Queen City Corsairs, where Queen City won 33-27. Your Arizona Scorpions took on the Denver Night Wings, and Arizona won 28-13. The Tulsa Desperados took on the Sioux Falls Sparrows, where Sioux Falls won 24-13. On the third, Atlanta Swarm took on the Fort Worth Toros, where Fort Worth won 36-21, and the Houston Headhunters took on the Lone Star Glory, where Lone Star won 27-24. The Charleston Predators took on DC Dragons, where DC came out victorious 34-16. The Baltimore Vultures took on the Indianapolis Ramblers, where Baltimore came out victorious as well, 15-28. The Minnesota Legends took on the Carolina Skyhawks, and Carolina won 20-17. Seattle Nemesis took on the London Knights, where London won 45-21. Canton Classics took on the Motor City V8s, where Canton won 23-13. And lastly, the Los Angeles Vikings took on the Portland Fleet. Portland won 27-24. So if I counted correctly, I had 9 right this week and 3 wrong. So, Diggy.
You're taking my job away.
Hey, well,
You're not supposed to keep track.
Yeah, I wasn't, but
Oh,
time is of the essence right now. I got, I'm trying to get things moving.
You ended up going 9-3, so you were right. I couldn't tweak the numbers on you. But I ended up going 6-6. The trend continues. I tell you what, the past few weeks, there's been so many of these like upset games, or some of the like down to the wire in the fourth quarter, or once it's really been a crazy season so far. And you really, honestly, like you said before, you cannot count anybody out. So that being said, no disrespect to any teams, no nothing like that when we pick against you, but y'all upset me 6-6. Jordan ended up winning the week with 10-2, which I was really surprised by, and I'd show him some love, but I don't see him anywhere. So we'll just move on. Move on. Actually, if he's not here to claim his victory week, does it count?
It does.
We'll count it. Okay, we'll count it. Yeah. So that makes the new totals. Me, I'm 24 for 36. You're 26 out of 36, regaining your lead. And with what Jordan said, we'll go with the honesty program here for the first week, and that brings his total with 10-2 to 18 out of 24. So right. I plan on coming back for you again. I mean, we may go back and forth the rest of the season, but I'm gonna pull away.
Well, we're gonna see about that. So, what were your 2 games that you chose? You want to kind of dive in deep?
I did the Minnesota Legend and Carolina.
Good game.
And Minnesota had a great start with the run and getting the awesome touchdown catch, as well as a good defensive stand their first time out. And credit to Carolina for quickly adjusting to that. They adjusted the run and shut that down, and then immediately after that, they answered back again, tightening up their defense even more. So the Legends' first drive, like I said, after that they tightened up pretty good. But the interception in this game was amazing. There was multiple interceptions in this game, and I got to give props to Axel Raven on his pick 6. Great job. As well as not only was he doing a pick 6, he had a great call on a red, a challenge flag he threw out and got it right. So good job on that. Both jobs getting done right on the field there, and amazing job by Carolina to fight and claw to stay in the game and take the lead with less than 30 seconds left. And their defense really got the job done for them here. So congrats. It was a well-deserved win, and it could have went either way for those teams. So the other one I did was Sioux Falls and Tulsa. This was another good game to watch. Tulsa did what they could to try to stay in the game in the first half, and give them a chance to come back in the second, try to do something. I mean, it's 17-6. They had the 2 field goals, and again, they did what they could do until the end of the third, when Sioux Falls finally scored again. They kept it close, back to the score the way it was. They kept the score the way it was till the end of the third, pretty much. And Sioux Falls scored again, and we're finally able to get Brown into the end zone at the end of the game, but it was a hard-fought game by Tulsa, but it just wasn't in their favor this week as, Sioux Falls continues to throw these touchdowns and kind of do what they did last year with these interceptions. So, I mean, we all know how they were last year, picking everything, pick.
Exactly.
So they're doing it again, but Tulsa, they have to get Brown rolling consistently. I picked Tulsa because I thought Tulsa would pull that out, but I think they just need to find a way to get Brown rolling consistently, or at least help him to be a little bit more effective in the run game, as we know he can be, because we know he's a monster. He's had monster games. How he was in the SFLm, we know he can do it, what he's capable of, how well progressed he was when he came into the league. But he's only had 3 games this season with over 100 yards. So, I mean, he's getting the touchdowns, 1 or 2 touchdowns a game, or a receiving touchdown. I mean, but they got to figure that out. And if they do, they'll be right back where they were.
Absolutely. And I think that is the key to getting people back to not only, scoring those winning touchdowns and getting those points in that regard, but you do kind of want to pad the stats a little bit. So I'm sure they'll figure it out. I mean, they're, one of the cornerstone teams. So, of course, they're going to be able to do that. I chose Arizona versus Denver and Baltimore versus Indianapolis. Now, I'm going to do Baltimore versus Indianapolis first. And Baltimore had 291 yards passing with 138 yards rushing for 429 yards total. The time of possession was 21 minutes and 26 seconds with 4 turnovers, surprisingly. Baltimore scored 14 in the first quarter, 21 in the second, 3 in the third, and 17 in the fourth quarter. Indianapolis had 264 yards passing, 86 yards rushing for 350 yards total. Their time of possession was 21 minutes 4 seconds with 5 turnovers, and they were only held to 7 points in all 4 quarters. So, Indy was great with their 4th down conversions, but Baltimore just had a balanced attack. And when they were able to stifle their run game to the point where it definitely made a difference. But shout out to Brad Jones and to tight end Randy Pierce for their contributions to the scoreline for Indy. On the other hand, Wiggy Dimes for Baltimore, having an off night with those 4 interceptions, but when you come out with the win, you can work on everything else in practice. Ivory Irvin, Max Shima, and Troy Gaines helped him out on the offensive side of the ball to score points. But shout out to their defense, cornerbacks Enzo Bolt and Elijah Warfield for capitalizing off of the interceptions that they received, creating 2 pick 6 to add to that score line as well. Awesome stuff, y'all. Now with Arizona and Denver, of course, Denver they have a way of kind of putting a little thorn in our sides, but not this time. Denver had 293 yards passing, 106 yards rushing, 399 yards total. Their time of possession was 19 minutes and 11 seconds with 2 turnovers. They scored 7 in the first quarter, and they were only held to a field goal in both the second and the third quarters. Arizona, 246 yards passing, 111 yards rushing, 357 yards total. Our time of possession was 24 minutes. Actually, no, we held the ball for 19 minutes and 11 seconds, where Denver held the ball for 24 minutes and 1 second. And I'm gonna go back to that in a second. But we made no mistakes. Scored 7 points in the first quarter and in the second quarter, and had 14 points in the fourth quarter. Now, it's funny because typically when the team that has the ball with the least amount of time loses. But in our case, I guess we just made better decisions with the ball when we had it versus Denver.
Unless you're airing it out in math, then you can have the ball.
There you go, right? Speaking of airing it out, shout out to DJ Moses on the ground for his performance, always finding those holes and being able to score. But I was able to connect with all 3 of my receivers, Connor, Ryan, and TJ for a touchdown. So everybody got one. I'm just looking to get Will Todd involved. Will, I got you. Promise. Maybe you'll get 2 next game. On defense, Maurice Lloyd, 14 total tackles. Sean Moore, 10 total tackles. Hunter Norwood and Alex Constantine with the sack, with 3 sacks in between them. And of course, Eddie Gage and Parker Thomas with vital interceptions that help us to keep them out of that end zone. Also, shout out to Marlon Marshall for finding his way through the best O-line in the league with Arizona. They actually got to me. My hip's still hurting from that man. Next time I'm gonna need you to be a little light with it, though. I got kids. But other than that, great games to watch. I hope you guys were able to check these games out. If you did not, just visit YouTube, Simulation Football League's YouTube page, and you'll see all of them right there. So, Diggy, picks of week 10. Mexico City will be taking on the Atlanta Swarm at the High on September the 8th. What do you got?
I'm pulling it up right now so I can look at the schedule while you're going over it here.
All right, no worries. So I'll go first while you decide.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. You're ahead.
Okay.
I don't want any shade or excuses.
Okay.
Like I'm following your picks or something, so it's okay. I'll let you follow me so I can use that.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Mexico City over Atlanta. Just the way they've been playing. Atlanta, like I said, has shown multiple times that they can keep into the game and stand a chance and win and make these incredible comebacks. But I'm just gonna have to roll with Mexico City. They've been playing too steady for too long, so I'm gonna roll with them.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think Mexico City is going to take this win. They have been on a roll. Atlanta, they have some things that they have to work on, I think, on the defense side of the ball. And when they get that together, of course, it's going to be the Atlanta of old. For now, Mexico City. Sioux Falls Sparrows will be taking on the Charleston Predators at Fort Moultrie Memorial Stadium. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with Sioux Falls in this one.
Okay. I too will go with Sioux Falls. I think that they have the more stronger unit right now. Not to say Charleston, they do show glimpses of brilliance. But when you're going against a Sioux Falls team, you better be firing on all cylinders. Las Vegas Fury will be taking on the Louisiana Revolution at Stack 'em Up Stadium. What do you have?
I know I made some comments before about Louisiana and last year and stuff before, but I'm gonna go with Las Vegas over Louisiana.
Okay. I think I'm gonna give it to Louisiana this time because it's a home game, and we're gonna see if that home cooking is gonna work out for them, especially. All right, Fort Worth Toro is taking on the San Diego Mavericks at Robert Hansen Field at the Archer Stadium. What do you have?
I think we're on the same page with this one. I think we're both going to go Fort Worth on this one.
And you'll be correct. Very correct. On the 9th, September the 9th, Carolina Skyhawks will be taking on the Baltimore Vultures at Sports Gamers Online Stadium. What do you have?
Carolina's had some surprising games this year. And like I said, there's always one team that you don't expect to lose to. But I'm going to hold off on that another week and say Baltimore rolls on another week.
I concur. Their momentum is really, really strong right now. Even though they did have a few mistakes last game, I don't think it'll be the same with Carolina. Queen City Corsairs will be taking on the London Knights in Queensway. Who do you have?
I think this will be if Queen City comes out and plays like they did last week, because I know I said, I didn't know about what was going on in the locker room after reading some stuff on, social media and stuff about the quarterback situation. Mm-hmm. But if they play like they did last week, I don't see how a quarterback can have a problem playing like that. So, if they come out, they stand a chance to beat London if they play like they did last week. But it's going to be which Queen City shows up. But I'm going to play it safe and pick London instead of taking a chance. But QCC can do it. If they play like they did last week, they can do it. They can do it. So which QCC goes up, it'll be a fun game to watch.
I actually feel that same way about Carolina. So depends on which Queen City comes out. But I think London is going to be on their roll, especially with it being a home game. Game of the week for me is the Indianapolis Ramblers taking on the Minnesota Legends at Minnesota Legends Stadium. Both teams are looking for a win, although the Legends are up by 1 game. What do you think?
I've been waiting for this game, and I think a lot of people have been waiting for this game since the season started. I love the rivalry back and forth, the check engine light from Minnesota, and all of it. And then, you know, the shirts that Indy's made in response. It's been great, and I think it'll be one of the best rivalries in the league for a while. And I think if Minnesota can stop Indianapolis offense, I think Minnesota has a better defense. It's going to be a close game, I think, but if Johnny Reno can come out and take care of the ball and everybody's connecting on offense, I think Minnesota comes away from it. So I'm going to go Minnesota.
All right, well, we're going to separate a little bit from here. I think Indianapolis is going to take the win. I think they're going to surprise Minnesota. Chad has some tricks up his sleeve. I mean, the toolage from TJ over in Baltimore, and, you know, the toolage from Liam Crowter in London, I think is going to prove itself to make him stand out a little bit more in this game. But we'll see.
Well,
lastly,
about time you picked a different one there.
Okay, first of all, we're choosing 2 different teams at 2 different points today. So you looked at my notes. It's okay.
I can't catch up. Okay, hang on. Let me mark this down. I'm trying to do it here when we're me and you went Indy. Okay, I got you. Mark it down. I can't change nothing here.
You said Minneapolis. I said Indianapolis.
Yeah, I said Minnesota.
Yeah, you said Minnesota. I heard you.
Yeah.
And Vancouver will be taking on the Seattle Nemesis at Seattle Nemesis Stadium. What do you have?
Seattle is still without a win. Mm-hmm. And if Vancouver it feels like they're slipping. It's not the Vancouver of last year. I might take a chance on this one and say Seattle gets their first one of the season. Unless, you know, Vancouver can pump the brakes and figure out what's going on. If they play like they've kind of been playing, Seattle does stand a chance here. So I'm gonna take a shot in the dark, and I'm gonna say Seattle.
I'm gonna give Vancouver one more chance. I've been picking Vancouver all this time, and they have been, you know, they I guess maybe Andy's trying something different, and it's just not quite meshing together right now. But I'm gonna give you one more shot, Vancouver. You got Seattle Nemesis. They are looking for their first win. Those guys are very hungry. So if you can't make it work, if Robert can't get Robert Redford going against them, yeah, they probably will take them to win. But I'm gonna go for it, Vancouver, one more time. All right, so we're gonna see how well we fare on these picks. And moving on to our hot topic question presented by Joseph Lama of Portland. Should a trophy be named after Matt Wilson in loving memory of him? And if so, should we name other trophies and other awards after members of the community that we've lost as well? Diggy, what is your thoughts on those?
Okay, here's it just opens up to more questions.
Mm-hmm.
How many trophies are we willing to have in the SFL?
Mm-hmm.
Is there going to be a cap to it? Is there going to be a stopping point? Is there going to be like the Walter Mayton Pan of the Year for the SFL? I mean, and that would be my suggestion. He's at the top right now for passing touchdowns and passing yards, right? Passing yards and passing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got three of the top ones. I mean, there's going to be, he's the greatest right now, but this kind of falls into, I think, when is the league going to decide when your time is up? So, and it falls into the who is really the greatest of all time. You know, if there's no limit on time, how can you be the greatest? So it's just a matter of time before somebody passes him. Now, when that person passes him, are they going to say, you better make the trophy after me, or I deserve it, it should be named after me? I think play it safer until the league really figures things out, and maybe do a trophy for him in regards to who in the league has overcome the most, like a most improved player, or really pushed through some challenges, like they really had a bad start in the year and came up the next year and overcame that adversity. Because I never talked to him personally, I never knew him personally, but I'm sure, seeing the stories people have written, seeing some of the videos on him, he overcame a lot in his daily life. So it would make sense to me to kind of honor him with that. I mean, the kind of drive and push he had to go through each day like that, and keep pushing and be the person he was, to kind of maybe do something like that, make a trophy for him with his name on it, honoring that, him as a person. Like I said, the most improved player, or something along that best fit him, and the way he was, his character. But then, like you said, that opens up, does everybody get a trophy? The unfortunate passing of the Louisiana, I'm sorry, that guy that
Leonard Butler Sr.
Another guy that I never, being new, or never got the chance to talk to or have the pleasure of knowing. But like I said, he was a brother in arms, and I pay my respects to that. And anybody else out there that does that, and it says a lot. But is there something for him? I mean, what is going to determine the level that does deserve to get a trophy? That's what needs to be figured out before any steps are taken. And if it does come to the point where they do that, because from what you've said, he was a hell of a guy himself, a humble person. I mean, it just opens up so many questions to stuff. But right now, until the league figures something out, I would say kind of hold off, or like I said, make it like a Walter Payton Man of the Year type thing, based off this person's character, all he overcame, and his drive and determination to continue to push and be one of the top people, and not just in his daily life, but in the SFL here. So that's my view on it. I think it's something that should probably be held off on until that's determined.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so but I do think we should do something. I mean, if people have the guy that just recently passed, his wife made that comment, or made the post for him.
Right.
And I mean, nobody would have known for how long. I mean, luckily this was a big enough piece of his life that she was able to make that comment, and new people here actually cared, because we do care here, and I think, a little clip it, or maybe somebody who's been at the team for a while has their jersey retired, but you can only do that so long as well before you run out of numbers. It's the little comments before the games and the statements, or a little clip video, I think is good to kind of slap a Band-Aid on it for right now. But that's like I said, that's my view. I'm not trying to irk anybody with my opinion or anything like that. I'm not saying don't ever do it. But we really need to determine what's the set time to the greatest of all time.
I mean, I agree with that. It was definitely more along the lines of, people that we lost. Because my question, one of them was like, how about naming the MVP trophy after him? Some people, agreed with that. Some people were saying as long as the championship trophy wasn't named after someone in particular, because that's kind of like that might have been a little bit too much. And you'll actually hear some of the responses from people to these questions during the podcast. But, for me, it's more so, if you do it for one person, then what's your reasoning for not doing it for anyone else? Because we have lost Richard Fracture, we have lost Matt Wilson, we've lost now Leonard Butler Sr. And I had the privilege of speaking to his wife the day that she left that message. And, she told us that he loved us. He loved the league. He loved being a part of it, and we were a big part of his life. He was a truck driver. So when he wasn't driving trucks, he was watching the games. He was enjoying it. He kept in constant contact with me, you know, and I didn't know that the last time, my last wellness check would actually be my last one to him. And we got a lot of good people here, and you don't want anybody to feel slighted. So my suggestion was, if you're going to do that, you know, figure out a way to kind of incorporate everyone else so no one feels slighted. Or you can do a memorandum wall, you know, people that we've lost, to commemorate them, to keep them in the forefront. We can even add a whole page, you know, to our Discord. We can add a whole page to our website, you know, just to keep their memories in mind. And of course, when we're in chat, we're always going to throw their numbers up, you know, 68 and 12 and 86. You know, we're always going to be able to throw that up. But just to do a little something extra, I think that that'd be a nice touch. And you don't run the risk of alienating anybody because their loved one or their friend or their teammate wasn't chosen over someone else. So
yeah,
I
agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to handle that, because I don't know if we have enough awards to be able to do that every time someone passes, unfortunately. So
yeah,
I thought it was a good question.
I agree with that.
I thought it was a very good question, you know, to ask. And of course, everybody has their own thoughts and their own feelings and their own opinions about things. This is just ours, but I think it was a great topic to even just bring up. But Diggy, thank you so much. And we are going to slide over to our 4th and Goal interview that features Fox, Liam, Skinny, Mike, Damon, and Eddie. Coming right up. All right, welcome back, SFL Nation, to my 4th and Goal interview. My first guest is Mr. Fox Highwind. He is a part of the undefeated, let me say it one more time, undefeated London Knights.
I like the sound of that, actually.
I know you do. Wide receiver, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing this morning?
Absolutely fantastic, man. I was looking at the stats and the scores from London, and I'm like, whew. When you talk about a big turnaround, you guys definitely did that.
Yeah, we did. I can't help but say we were kind of not looking forward to this. We kind of expected this. I didn't necessarily expect 8-0 during the schedule show. I said, we'll go 9-3. If we do better, that's great. I like to kind of keep it conservative.
Right.
But Johnny the whole time was, no, we're going 12-0. And I was like, okay, maybe you're a little overshooting. Well, I mean, there's a reason he's the GM. So who knows?
Hey, and listen, I mean, kudos to you, because, you know, London has always got me bad rap. And, you know, picked on kind of. So now you were able to kind of quiet the naysayers and show what you guys are really about. And so with that, I actually have Liam coming up on the show next. So it's going to be interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
He's a good guy. I love Liam.
He is. I met him at the convention. So sweet, you know. Had a great time just getting to know everybody, and just saw a different side of him that I never saw. So it was cool to see. But let's talk about this past game that you guys went against Nemesis. So Johnny threw for 368 yards, and Merrill ran for 161. Probably Merrill and your probably secondary. 529 total yards. Y'all held the ball for 25 minutes and 18 seconds with only one mistake. Whereas the Seattle Nemesis had 254 yards passing, was only held to 61 yards rushing, and only put up 315 points total. 315 yards total. Their time of possession was 18 minutes, 37 seconds, and 3 turnovers. So not only did you stifle the run game of the Nemesis, you capitalized off all the turnovers that you got, and you held the ball a lot longer, which gave you more time to do what you needed to do. So, Fox, what is your opinion about this game, and where was your head at during this time?
Well, coming into the game, I knew that they hadn't won a game yet in their history. Of course, it's very short history, but you can never count anybody out. So I was, I knew we were playing at home. There was that big spread. People just expecting that, well, this is, London's just going to beat them. But then other people kind of rightly saying, well, this could be a trap game, but I know Liam, and I know his work ethic toward. He's not going to just let somebody. He feels the same way. It's like anybody can beat us on any day. We've got to, we've got to plan for everyone the same way, whether they're Baltimore or Seattle. Seattle's got a good team. They got a lot of people that are in good positions. They just have some young players, or lower in the salary cap rookies. But honestly, their red zone defense was the best that we'd faced, and every time we got in the red zone, we kicked a field goal. JT Delaney had 6 field goals, and my hat's off to them. That was pretty awesome. Even though I wanted to win, and I'm glad we won. But it was good to see a team that had been getting kind of a bad rap and has got low points per game and low yardage per game step up defensively like that against one of the better teams in the league. Indeed.
And looking at your next opponents, you have Queen City, LA, Portland, and Motor City V8s.
Yes.
Do you think that one of these teams you'd have to prepare for a little bit differently or a little bit more than the others, considering?
I don't know how to answer that. I guess of all 4 of them, what I could say more than anything is Queen City, our next opponent. Mm-hmm. We're that's what we've got to buckle down and prepare for them. They're a division opponent. You can never. I know Queen City's 3-4, but you know how they are over there. You can't ever count them out, even if they're having like a down year. Mm-mm. You can't. You just can't. They've got too much history of being good and sustaining that. So you never know when even like I said, on a down year, they're gonna rise to life and surprise somebody like they did this past weekend with Vancouver.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, what does it feel like to finally kind of be in the position to where I would definitely, let me see, I will check the standings and see where you guys are in your division in a second, but what does it feel like to be undefeated, to join the ranks with Baltimore as an undefeated team right now?
I think that, when it first started the season and we kept racking up the wins, it was more and more of a surprise that we were still undefeated. I know what kind of a team we've got. I know we've got a lot of strengths, but still, teams just don't go undefeated in the SFL unless it's like Baltimore or Florida when they were Alaska, or somebody like. It's just it eventually got to be where it just kind of seemed normal, and now I'm just hoping that the other shoe doesn't drop. I'm always worried about that. Just the better things get, if we end up losing, there's further to fall. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
emotion wise, especially you get to the playoffs, we're 12-0 in the playoffs and we lose, then it's harder. Yeah.
Exactly. I definitely understand that sentiment. So, in your division, of course, you guys are leading, but you have Canton, you have Queen City, and you have the Motor City V8s. Do you think that if you were facing different, or maybe if the other teams were in your division instead of 3-3, do you think that you guys would still be undefeated or still be leading your division? Let's say
That's a good question.
Let's say if you had Vancouver, let's say if you had Baltimore and Sioux Falls, just in your division. Do you think you guys will still be undefeated?
Well, I'd like to say yes, especially with the examples you just gave, Sioux Falls and Vancouver. We played them both. We beat both of them. We haven't played Baltimore, but we used to.
Right.
You know, they were in the same division as us, and I think that the way that we are going about things is, you know, we know that Baltimore is the team to beat, so we're trying to, I guess, mold ourselves into that team that can beat Baltimore. Because it's going to go through Baltimore this season or next season, the season after, however long, because they're so good. They've been so good for a long time, and it's amazing. They've only won. It's great that they've won 3 of the last 4 championships, but it took a long time to get one. But now that they have, they don't want to let it go. So we know we got to go through them.
Indeed. So, what do you think the big change was for London? Was it getting Robert Merrill more involved? Was it a change in the defense? What do you think is kind of the key to you guys' success right now?
Well, when Chad Rowland came on as GM starting season 16, that's when things started to turn around. Liam always had a good playbook, but I think it was back then it was like the retention of players and building the players we have up. And the last 2 off seasons, we've kept most of our players. You know, when I came back last season, I think they had kept all but 4. No, I guess I don't remember. They'd kept almost all, and then this season we kept all but, you know, like 3 or 4.
Right.
So it's growing together longer term and knowing where our strengths and weaknesses are as far as game planning. Just the more used to you, the more that we're around and we have these same tendencies for our players, then the better Liam gets a good look at that. And I think it comes with experience. It comes with, I mean, Merrill, the turnaround, I could see it last season. The first half of the season is a lot of swing passes, but the last 3 or 4 games when he was starting to run how he's running now, we could tell the change was coming.
I can definitely see a difference. I can see a difference in the attitude. I can also tell that it's more balanced ball, and I think that was kind of the key too for you guys, because I know Johnny likes to pass. Every quarterback likes to pass, right? You know,
you like to pass, yeah.
Yeah, but you see how many interceptions that happen too. So I think and between Johnny and I feel like sometimes we be racing to the interceptions.
Well, I mean, Johnny's got to win at everything, so you gotta let him pass you when it comes to, no, don't let him pass you. But you can look at that either way. He's beating you because he's got more, or he's beating you because he's got less. Either way, Johnny's gonna win.
He's gonna win.
You just got to learn how to spin that narrative.
So, what's the team morale like over there since things are?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And they were good when I came back into the locker room last season. They were good then too. I mean, the whole atmosphere had changed. And I know a lot of that has to do with player retention, like I said, and the people in our locker room. Johnny, Wyo, Tony, Jack. It's just everybody gets in there and everybody's encouraging, everybody's ready to go. Even if I think even if we were to lose, it'd be disappointing, but we're not the London team that's going to hang our heads and go, oh God, another one. We're the London team who's going to be like, all right, well, on the next week.
Yeah, I think Liam putting something in y'all fish and chips over there, making y'all.
Hey, let me tell you something. Some days you feel like Popeye, right?
Indeed.
Popeyes. That makes me want chicken now. No, really, there's no Popeyes up here. Like, I wanted to get some when I was in Chattanooga last, and my son said, let's go to Bojangles. And 45 minutes later of dealing with our order, I was like, we should have gone to Popeyes. Oh, yeah, don't. It's just a long thing. But,
okay.
It's
no. Oh
anyways.
my God. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy, but so what do you think the future is like for London? Do you foresee? Let me ask this a little bit differently.
Okay.
Do you think that if you guys were not undefeated right now, do you think that the player retention will still be more probable, like everybody would want to stay? Because I'm sure, like right now, if you ask anybody, hey, y'all want to come join it? No, we're fine. We're where we at. We're number one. But when you guys were not number one, how do you like that player retention model? Do you think that you still would have been able to retain your players even if you wasn't undefeated?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. If you look at the history, the last few seasons, it was 2 seasons ago, London was 6-6. They brought almost everyone back. And this last season was 7-5, brought almost everyone back.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't see us, losing our last 4 games, getting early round exit in the playoffs, and people say I want to go somewhere else because we know what we have here. We know that I'm sorry, there's a random person in your background. I can't concentrate. Sorry. It was just so random. Anyways, yeah. So player retention, I think that it'd be better now than ever, especially, if we don't go undefeated, we don't win the championship. We're hungry. We're gonna keep, I would say we're gonna keep everyone. I would not be shocked at all.
And I would think so. I would think so. And I think it is about the loyalty. It is about the more players that you actually get to stay, the better your team will be in the long run because you guys are able to grow together. You're able to mesh together. Your coaches will better understand and be able to make those correct game plans for you because they know what they're going to get ultimately.
Right.
So,
and that's what I was saying one of your previous questions. That's how I feel like we're doing a lot better. It's because we've kept that player retention, gotten to know our players' tendencies, and can game plan for us better, in conjunction with their offense and defense.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Let's throw whatever you want at me. I'm ready this time.
Gotcha. All right. So what do you think about naming so this suggestion came from Joseph Lama, Free Safety for Portland. And he asks in the suggestion box, should we name a SFL trophy after Matt Wilson? Or maybe like the MVP or something like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, as soon as I saw that suggestion, I immediately agreed. It's Matt. I didn't talk to him a ton, even when I was with Mexico City. But I did speak with him a few times, and he was a good guy. He's a great guy. And like I'm not ashamed to admit, when I heard what happened, what was about to happen, I sat here and cried in my chair for like 2-3 hours. Like, it just, the world lost a really good person. So I think it's awesome to honor him in a way. And I don't think anybody's going to say, well, what about Leonard Butler? What about Rich Pratchard? That's, I don't think that's going to be like a topic of conversation anybody's going to bring up now at this point. I'm usually against naming trophies after people, or when the whole, hey, let's make our NBA logo Kobe. I'm not all for that, but I think like for a championship trophy, I think it's still just championship trophy. MVP award, you know, I'm all for that. You know, just, and it has nothing to do with the championship trophy. I don't know. It's one of those things that unless you're Stanley Cup and you were Lord Stanley, you know, that happened a long time before I was even born. That was named that, you know, just the MVP award being named after Matt, I think would be really, really cool and a really nice tribute.
Awesome. I agree. And I thank Joseph for even posing that question. I think that that was a really good idea, and hopefully, you know, the league listens to that.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
I was going to say, kind of a fun question for you. I'm actually, I kind of know your answer already.
Really? Okay.
Who is more likely to remain undefeated between you and Baltimore, in your opinion? I can make it to the playoffs, no losses.
Well, I mean, I'm still aiming for an undefeated championship game.
I don't think that would be the first in SFL history. I don't think anybody has ever just went straight undefeated.
So, if you ask me, I think that, I mean, I don't know what you think I'm going to say, because I don't even know what I'm going to say, because there are arguments on both sides. Like Baltimore, they're Baltimore. Okay. Undefeated. All right. I can see that. London, I play for London. I believe in London. We're going to go undefeated. I look at the rest of our schedule versus their schedule, and I think our main two, no disrespect to any other team out there, but I think our main two hurdles, in my opinion, were Sioux Falls and Vancouver. And we're on a downhill trajectory now. Not to say that it's downhill to play any of the teams we're about to play, but you know what I mean. It seems like it may get easier. I mean, there's still, you know, we still don't need to rest on our laurels. We need to be hyper focused. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we can go undefeated, and I'm pretty sure that Baltimore can go undefeated, and so hopefully nobody gets an early exit in the playoffs, and we can make that championship game happen.
Okay, because and it's a good thing that you said that, because even like when the Mavericks first started, right, and they had not won a game. They were like Seattle, just hadn't won a game.
Well, they beat Arizona.
Guess who gave them their first win?
I know, that was so nice of you guys.
Right. Listen, we was like, and it was funny because I was like, oh man, I would love to see you guys win, but hopefully that's not next week. What did y'all do? Y'all waited till next week, beat us.
Well, you jinxed it. What happened there, Ashley? Just like, you should know better to be like, I hope you win.
I hate to see anybody go undefeated. I mean, I hate to see anybody go without a win, at least one. You know what I mean? That just, I don't know. And I'm not even on the team. I just like.
And I get that. I want to see Seattle get their first win. By the way, I love the name, the Nemesis. I love their logo, their colors. They did a good job with that. And so, like, I'm as far as like visually, like, you know, logo and like I say, uniforms and stuff, it's one of my favorites. Definitely my favorite of the 4 expansion teams. And you know some people. Everybody knows pretty much everybody else in the SFL. You know players over there and want them to do well. I'm really looking forward to them getting their first win. Now that we've passed them, and now that we don't have to play them this year anymore, then they can go ahead and finish out the season, you know, 5-7. Win all 5 games. There you go.
And now, since you pass, you know, we don't need to win as many games as you like, because we are
right until you get to us, and then you can quite kindly please take a nap. You know, I don't want to lose.
I get that.
I'll tell you one thing that I have told. I've told our players in London is I haven't felt and no disrespect or anything to Mexico City, but this season I've felt more strongly about, even earlier in the season, of us having what it takes to win a championship. I had not felt since I was non-contract with Atlanta season 14, and we won it all that year. And so like we were, I think we were 3-0 when I was like, I can tell that it feels a lot like that, and in some cases it feels stronger than that.
Got that magic, sometimes you got it, sometimes when it's for you, it is. So I mean, I wish you guys the best of luck, still.
Unless you play us, and then
then you gonna get your ass whooped. But
we go to hell.
But I like to see it. I like to see another contender that's undefeated that could give Baltimore a run for their money. Because you're right, Baltimore is a team to beat, and everybody knows it. Everybody needs to try to get up to that caliber and surpass that caliber in order to see a ring. So it'll be interesting to see what everyone winds up doing. In the standings right now, it is, of course, Baltimore is leading, followed by London, then DC Dragons, Mexico City, and Arizona Scorpions round off that top 5. So it's going to be a fight, and I can't wait to see how it all shakes up. But before I let you go, I was wondering, is there anything that you want to talk about? Is there anything that you want to get off your mind, or any words of wisdom that you want to give everybody?
Now, this ain't say it with your chest, actually.
I just get it off my mind.
Some of that. No, getting off my mind is the same thing.
I just put it differently. I mean, how it goes.
I will, since I woke up and I'm in a good mood, and nothing divisive has happened to me this morning yet, then I will be kind, and I will say that I gave Canton a lot of crap early on when they first got their team, when they first put in their bid, and I still feel the same way that I feel. Their players understand. I still feel that way, but I'm glad they're having the success that they've had. Like you said, you don't want to see any team go winless, and at one point I did want to see them go winless. I kind of still do, but it's too late for that. Right. But in all seriousness, glad they're having better success. If not, at least for their players. I don't know, they didn't want to sign on to a team that might go 0-12 or 2-10 or something like that. And so 4-4, I'm sure their players are happy. I've got friends on that team, so I'm happy for my friends on Canton. We'll go there. We'll say that.
There you go. Because I was wondering,
they're still in our division, and they can lose every other game.
Because I was like, wait a minute, what did Canton do to you? But yeah, y'all in the same division, so
we won't go into that. It's kind of that's a whole nother. How much more time you got on this episode? Actually, I gotta.
But it's already gonna be a 3-hour show. You already know who I got on here, so.
I know.
But we can touch on that. We can touch on that a little bit later. But I'm glad that you decided to give props. Despite your feelings, and I think that's good on you. That looks good on you. So.
Yeah, I mean, I will spout off. I'll spout off at the mouth. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is a lot of people in the SFL who will attest to that. Sometimes but I don't say anything I don't mean. I don't try to be mean. I don't try to be. I know I can come across as being mean, but I don't try to be. I just try to be speaking from my heart, my brain, how I feel about things.
Yeah.
And that rubs people the wrong way sometimes. And sometimes I've specifically done that. Because I was just not in the mood to deal with, I don't know, I don't know. Stuff happens sometimes in life that you just don't get in the mood, and then that perfect storm hits, and then you say things.
I get it.
But yeah, I don't aim to be mean. I'm just speaking from the heart. That's just from things that I believe and things that I feel. So if I've got to be fair. If I'm happy that their players are doing better, and then why not say it?
Indeed.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought halfway through that, and I think I'm talking about the same thing I thought I was talking about.
You were talking about Ken.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. Jeez, Ashley, you can't let me ramble on that long. Okay. It's only going to be a 5-hour show. It's only going to be a 5-hour show. Okay.
Everybody trying to tell me, "Oh, Ashley, go live, go live." See, this is why I don't go live, because every time I talk to someone, I always bring out these long conversations, which I love, but my live stream probably going to be like, you know what? Listen, it's been 6 hours.
No, that's what you do. You put out the live stream and you let it run, and all those things come out. Can't put the genie back in the bottle, Ashley. And then when you get done with the live, then you cut it down to a more concise for those people who only like that. You could let this thing run 8 hours. I will stay on the phone with you all day. Like, I ain't got nothing to do. Like, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm kicked in. I'm ready for the next few hours.
SFL Nights 24-hour stream. Just gonna have everybody just popping in and out. Right. I don't know how the heck I would. Well, I typically don't sleep that often anyway, so
yeah,
that might actually work. Maybe I will do a 12-hour stream one day.
Hey, if you do, I'll sit here for 12 hours, probably take a nap. Y'all can watch that too. What'll end up happening, you'll have all these Zoom feeds open, everybody talking. You'll be looking at everybody's paying attention. They're all looking at the camera and nodding, giving their expert opinion. And you look up in the upper right-hand corner, and Fox is laying back here. Fall asleep during the interview. I want to emulate Eddie Gage as much as I can.
He will. And he is good for falling asleep, man.
I've been on some Discord calls before where a bunch of us talking, and then we start hearing snoring, and it'd be like, "Oh, Eddie fell asleep again."
I caught Terrell Sutherland. I caught Terrell Sutherland sleep too one time.
How'd you do that?
We were all in chat, and then he was just. We heard some snoring. I was like, Eddie's not here. So who is it? And it was Terrell, but
we throwing a lot of shade at Eddie right now.
Well, I could do that. I'm his partner.
That's true.
He might have some words for you.
He might, but I love it. I love you, Eddie.
But Fox, this was fun. Thank you so much for being on. Of course, come back whenever you want to. I always enjoy having you. And you can also be a co-host, or you can sit in on the panel, because for the playoffs, I will be having some panel discussions and things like that, going over the games like that.
I'll do it. I will.
Cool. But I can't let you go without giving you the last word. So that can be a song, that can be a poem, or a simple shout out right now. Fox,
I thought you stopped doing that.
Oh, no.
Because last time that I was on your show, you didn't do that. I was like, she moved on to something else.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now, okay, so that means you get 2 shout outs.
I think. No, I don't need 2 shout outs. I don't know that many people.
Dude, 23.
I want to send this out to my coach and my coach, because I only know one person. No. I don't. Believe me, I have enough final words. I don't think I need you to give me another platform to extend your show a little longer. But I'm ready. I wish there were games all dang week. There we go. That's my final say on the show. Oh, that was terrible. We got to redo that.
Actually, you might get your wish. You might get your wish, because we're doing the 24/7 SFL network, so there'll be games on all the time. Shows.
When are we doing that?
Should be starting sometime soon.
I thought, because last year didn't they have the SFL show. I can't remember the name of it. Crunch Time.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
and now
that
it's
was
gone.
supposed to be a part of. Well, maybe for now they might come back with it, but this will be on ESTV. So it's going to be like a 24-hour network that, you can just come in, you can check out our shows, you can check out like my show, Eddie's, Around the League, everybody.
Okay.
So it's gonna be pretty dope. So.
All right. So I guess next time I probably need to comb my hair or brush my hair or something. It's getting a little long if you can't tell. You
You still must be sleeping.
Just the fact that I see you looking at my screen, at your screen, you're like,
where?
Like confused, like I don't know what he's talking about, and the joke just.
No, I got it.
It's okay. You got it. Okay.
It. Unless you got a ponytail in the back that I don't see.
No, it's not there anymore.
Thank you, Fox.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. I love you.
Hope to see you in the playoffs.
I hope I don't see you in the playoffs. I mean, I hope you get to the playoffs. Let me rephrase that.
Wait, hold on. See, I messed up. You messed it up.
Yeah, I go backwards again in time. Just pretend I didn't say it. Ashley, I hope I see you in the playoffs. Not on our side of the bracket, but I wish you many success until we face you, and then I hope Eddie gets his pick 6, so I can stop hearing about it.
Yeah, well, you never know.
I'm playing. I'm playing. I want him to get one really bad.
Maybe Johnny would give him a pick 6.
Hey, look, that would be the gift that keeps on giving for the entire league if that happened.
And Johnny would still win. He was still.
That's right. He'd be like, "That's right." He'd be like, "Oh, you threw an interception to Gage." Yeah, well, I gave him his first ever pick 6, so I win.
I need to be in the Hall of Fame just for helping him out.
How many times has Eddie Gage gotten a pick 6? 1, and I'm the one who gave it to him. So you're welcome. You're welcome. SFL.
He go find a way. Oh man, this was fun.
We've gone full circle in this interview. All right.
Yeah.
We have. Okay.
See you.
All right. Well then, I'll see you later. I hope you have a good rest of the season.
Hey, y'all too. Good
Thanks.
luck. All right, SFL Nation, and we are back with the second part of my 4th and Goal interview featuring Mr. Liam Crowter. He is the owner and web administrator for the SFL, and he is the owner of the London Nights. How are you doing?
Hey, yeah, great to be here, actually. Very happy with how things are going this season, on and off the field. So doing a lot of different things with the website, keeping that all up to date, and then with the team, obviously 8-0 is a pretty nice spot to be in. So our most successful season ever. So just keeping up with things, doing a lot of sims, just keeping working. So all going great.
Hey, I'm proud of you. Like, I've watched you guys struggle for a minute, I've watched you guys, try to find your way, and I saw you guys get a lot of flack about that kind of thing. So it is refreshing to see that you guys have completely turned it around, and obviously undefeated. That has got to feel good for you to finally find that formula and finally have the team that you need around you to be able to do that. So
I think the last few seasons we really got it together. I mean, we're looking at 3 playoff seasons straight. So last season we got our first playoff win against Jacksonville, who a very intimidating team to go up against. Big shout out to all of the staff in London for all the effort that they put in. Obviously Chad was a very big part of our team, went off to Indianapolis and doing some good stuff over there with Adam, Tanner, Benji, Johnny, Jeff, everybody, Anthony Wyo as well, a big name who's been helping out in the back office with helping us out with scouting bits and stuff like that. There's just so many people in London, and all of our players as well, who just play such a big part in helping me in terms of what we're doing. Definitely, last few seasons, we've sort of taken it to being a consistent contender, whether it be within the division or whether it be within the playoffs. And for me, I mean, the last few seasons have obviously been quite difficult because we've been in a very tough division in the north, being with Baltimore, DC and Queen City. This season, I think a lot of people in the build up to the season said, well, you look at London's schedule and like they maybe said we had a weaker schedule, but I mean, up until last week, our strength of victory was higher than Baltimore's, and we can only play the teams that are in front of us. So we've got to be professional on a week in and week out basis to make sure that the game plan that we put in place is going to be a winning game plan. So yeah, it's been a good season. Definitely, a real team effort, and we just want to continue on doing what we're doing. And we're excited about, what the future holds for us, obviously, as teams get bigger and as more teams come into the SFL. If, we have another expansion, I think there's 4 sort of remaining slots across the board in the SFL that eventually they're going to end up filling up. Eventually, we're going to be in a spot where we're a real prime destination for a lot of players. I know from last off season, I won't mention names, but there was a player of ours who said, we convinced him because of the way that our locker room is and the way that our game planning has been. And for me this season, I think, because I think a lot of eyebrows were raised about me being the head coach, and I sort of felt the pressure every single week. Even now, I feel the pressure of where if we lose, then there's going to be questions asked. And that's why, for me, it's been really important just on a week-by-week basis, just keep simming, keep doing everything that I need to do just to make sure that this team can win. And with the help of everybody, all of my players doing progressions and everybody who I've worked with, whether it be Gerald Smith back in the day working together on getting Reggie Streeter in position, all the way to Chad and Tanner and everybody, it's been a real team effort, and I'm really grateful to all of those guys. So,
yeah, I mean, a lot of accolades can be thrown in a lot of different directions. I'm just happy to see the big turnaround, and it's impressive. I was wondering, what do you attribute to that success? Do you feel getting Robert Merrill more involved, the running game having a more balanced offense? Because I know for a while, it was more of the passing game for you. And I see that you're incorporating, I saw this actually last season, where you're incorporating your run game more. So do you think that's a secret to your success?
Yeah, I think it's a big part of what we've been trying to do. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, I've always been a person focused on the offensive side of the ball. I like having an air raid. What Chad and I really put in place over the past few seasons, where, well, we got Johnny Pickler, who I think is, one of the best quarterbacks in the SFL, both on and off the field. I think that, Johnny's had his press conferences and everything where he talks up his teams, whether it be in Louisiana or London. But I think what people fail to realise is just how good a team person Johnny Pickler is, and just how much he does. He uplifts the community. I know that for some people who may have had experiences with Johnny in the past, public channels, yeah, he has a personality, but I think that's great to have personalities in our league. We are a league of personalities, and getting him in position was great. getting him in position to succeed, because it makes him want to come back to London every season. He finishes his season contract, comes back, and he knows that he's in good hands with, whether it be me or Chad or anybody. In terms of Robert, I mean, back when I really sort of got stuck into play calling, I mean, my original sort of experience with play calling, I was doing a bit of work in St. Louis. And then I left St. Louis and was going to go to Dallas with Stephen Mullinax, working on the defensive game plan. And I was going to be moving there, but then I ended up getting the expansion bid with London, and that was something which Dwayne encouraged me to do. And when I came into London, I think I just didn't have the experience. And I wasn't necessarily putting in the time or the effort that maybe the SFL has grown to require. And that was something that I had to take ownership with. But over time, working with like someone like Gerald, especially Gerald, I think is one of the best coaches that I've worked with and a great owner. We put together, we would sim together and do a whole bunch of stuff together. And, he put together a great defense and helped me with putting together what we were doing in terms of J.R.Lawless' rushing game. And we had a very heavy rushing game and screen game with not Robert Merrill, with J.R.Lawless. And we went away from that because we had a lot of turnover. We were looking at doing new things, and it's a whole people joke about me and experimenting type of thing. And then when Chad came in and Tanner came in and started putting in place some of the things, we just thought, well, we'd just get the passing game down. And then this season has been a culmination of getting that passing game really in place, doing a lot of stuff with like slants and screens and stuff like that, and putting in place our money plays essentially, and combining that with the rushing game that we sort of pioneered with J.R.Lawless, because I think prior to that, finesse running backs were not the meta really within the SFL. It used to be Ray Bentley. Ray Bentley was the MVP in season 10, I think, just off the basis of how his power running game was. And that was always the case in the SFL until J.R.Lawless came in and really started, developing that Hall of Fame resume. So it's something that I'm quite proud of that I was capable of doing. And I think going into this season, it was basically a case of trying to prove to myself and prove to people that I was capable of doing this and I actually knew what I was doing. And fortunately, I said to Johnny before the season, I'm sort of gambling on myself a bit, being able to do what I need to do for this team with the game plan. And in the end, it's turned out okay, which is probably a bit of an understatement. But I'm very happy, not necessarily even for myself. I'm always doing it. I'm doing it for the guys in the locker room. All of our players, they deserve to have. They're putting money into the SFL, and they're putting their time into doing progressions and putting their time into making the London Knights what it is. And I want to do this for them as much as I'm doing it for myself. And that's what makes me so proud of what we've been able to achieve so far this season. So
I think that's important, Liam. Anytime you take the hat, the helm, so to speak, that is a lot of pressure on you. You have 23 other people that's relying on you to deliver the experience that they want to have. So like when Eddie took over offense, and he was always great at defense, but when he took over offense, I know he felt the pressure. Anybody that does that, but it's how you react to that pressure. Pressure and time makes diamonds. And that's why you guys are where you are now. That's why Baltimore is where they are right now, because of that pressure, that time that it takes to really be able to figure things out. And I know by you doing it by yourself, and I'm sure you have scouts and things like that, but by you coming up with the game plans and trying to figure these out for all of these different teams. That's got to be difficult. Plus, you being all the way on the other side of the world, trying to make sure everything goes properly. I know it's daunting. So kudos to you for the effort that you have displayed. And, I do wish y'all the best. I want to see how far you guys can go. I actually asked Fox, between Baltimore and London, who do you think will remain undefeated at least to the playoffs? And I'm asking you that. Who do you think is more likely to be, either you or Baltimore?
I think Vancouver was the very, very big test for me personally. And now that we've beaten Vancouver, I don't necessarily want to be. The thing is, as soon as I say that we're going to go unbeaten, people are going to sort of tell me off in the public chat if we do end up losing. I mean, I'm confident in the team and the game plan and what everybody is doing in our team. My aim really is to get into the top 2 seed and avoid Baltimore for as long as possible, because I think it will be exciting both for my team and for the league if it ends up being us and Baltimore in the final championship game. And I know that that's something that I reached out to Andy, who I think is I think he's probably one of the best defensive minded coaches in the league, and I learned a lot from him, and I've learned a lot from other people, whether it be Max Paul or even Eddie, of course. I know how disheartened he was last season to get so far and to come so close, and to not be able to make it over that final hurdle. And I want to just put myself in a position to just try and get as close as I can, or to get to that championship. And so long as I can go to sleep like knowing that I've done everything in my power to try and get us to where I want us to be, I'm kind of satisfied by that, really. So I didn't really answer the question. To sort of answer the question, I think Baltimore will go unbeaten. Because it's probably a less controversial statement for me to say that, but it would be really nice to. I'm of course really happy that we got into the playoffs, essentially guaranteed at 8 and whatever. But yeah, I'm not necessarily going to commit to saying we're going unbeaten. I've got to, in my mind, put the work in every week, and if we earn that, then we'll be worthy of it, and we'll be proud holders of that title. And it means a lot to me, because I mean, I think probably just touching on one of the things he said there, with me being from like the UK, like, of course, it's not our first sport. It's probably not even like within our top 5 sports, although it's American football is massively growing. For me, a lot of my education of football has come through the SFL, and a lot of my understanding tactically of what to do. It's not the same as a real game of football, but a lot of the elements of it that I've learned through the SFL, I've been able to apply it to my understanding of the real world game as well. So that's been really nice. And I think that, if I can show like a British person being capable of doing it, I'm quite proud of that in my personal right. So yeah.
Tell him, Liam. That's right. Represent it. Fun question for you. I've been getting these hot topic questions from the suggestion posting. So what are your thoughts on naming a trophy after Matt Wilson, maybe MVP or something like that? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think MVP should be named after Matt. I know that there was a mention of the championship trophy being named after Matt. I'm not certain I agree with that, just because I don't think, like, it's like you wouldn't necessarily name the NBA title after Kobe Bryant. He got the All-Star Game MVP named after him. So, like, I've always personally felt like I would think the MVP named after Matt would be absolutely excellent. I think that would be the right thing to do. The championship trophy, I always thought that should be named after Eric Barkley, but whenever I mention that, he kind of he swats it down and says, no, I don't want that. But Eric, he's very much like a sort of Vince Lombardi figure in my mind, in terms of putting together a very successful SFL team when we were a much smaller league than we are now. And for his contributing to being able to show that a team can consistently win and develop a dynasty, because Queen City essentially were the first dynasty in the SFL. I think that deserves some recognition. So that's my sort of feeling on it. I definitely think though MVP should be named after Matt. I mean, I was fortunate enough to speak with Matt and his mother shortly before he passed away, and we all sent videos and encouragement and stuff to him, and I was very upset about him passing, but I can't even fathom what Mike must have been going through, because to have such a close friend like that, and to have spent so much of your life with them, I can't even imagine it. So I think it certainly in London, like at the end of the season, will be making sure that there's recognition of Matt and also Rich Pratchett as well. That will be coming in time once we reach the end of the season. But I do think that the league should recognise Matt in their own way as well. I know that's what Cam will want to do too. So yeah. Yeah.
We lost Leonard Butler Sr. too.
Indeed. Yeah. And
it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been. I just try to tell people that you never know how much time you have. So with the time you're given, just to make the best of it, try to check on people, and try to just keep in touch as much as you can, because you never know.
Well, I remember the last time that we did an interview. I think it was on your podcast as well. I think we spoke about, because maybe there were times in the past where I never comported myself in the best way publicly within the SFL, and I think I've probably grown up a lot since then. And I think for me, I've tried to maybe not. I think I take the SFL seriously, and I think it's a good thing to take it seriously, but not to get so not to like really get stuck in and not be able to work yourself out, and not to be able to engage people with sort of respect and discipline, I suppose. And I think that's one of the things that maybe I've sort of learned over the past sort of year or so, where I've maybe taken a bit of a step back and come back in now, and it's enhanced my enjoyment of the league, most certainly, being able to take a little bit of a more stress-free approach to things. So yeah.
Indeed. And I think that's important too. Before I let you go, I definitely have to tell you to make sure you're taking care of it. Actually, to you and all coaches, owners out there, it is really easy to get so wrapped up in what you're doing here that, kind of forget to live. You kind of forget to go outside and just get some sunlight, because you're so engulfed in what you're doing. You're so engulfed in trying to provide that good experience for your team, and even meeting your own goals. It's just make sure that you're resting, man, because I know if you go to bed at around 11 o'clock, 11:30, really late, I know eventually that kind of takes the toll. So just take care of yourself, Liam.
I need to get Cam to move our games to like 5 o'clock in the afternoon my time. So
so that's like today.
I think it's been nice having people I can rely on in our team staff as well, and they help take a lot of the stress off me too, in terms of helping out with the team and managing our personnel and everything like that. So that's really nice as well to have. So yeah.
Indeed. Well, Liam, please come back and see me whenever you can. I had to get up real early. Bless you, baby. I had to get up real early to hang out with you, but it was worth it. So
thanks, Ashley.
You're always welcome. But before I let you go, I have to give you the last word. So that can be a song, that can be a poem, or just a simple shout out. Right now, Liam, the floor is yours.
Yeah, wow. I'd just shout out to, I'd shout out to all the people in London, all of the people who supported me in the SFL. I think the biggest one of all, and I mentioned it at convention, because I didn't want him to go unnoticed, which is so bizarre to think about. But, Cam plays a big part in my life on the basis that, a lot of the stuff that I've been able to achieve over the past few years simply wouldn't have happened without him. And the what he contributes to me, to my life, and also to the lives of other people around the SFL, and I'm sure you'd agree, Ashley. And I think sometimes it's maybe a job that is not the easiest at times. It can be very stress-filled being the commissioner of the league, but and it's not often the most thanked for job when you have to make difficult decisions and stuff like that. And I know I've had my arguments and disputes with Cam from time to time, and I'm not afraid to say that. But I think the biggest of shout outs to him, because we all wouldn't be here without him, and the meaningful impact that he plays on so many people's lives, whether it be mine, whether it be Matt's when he was still with us, Colin Northrup, a big friend of mine from back in St. Louis and now in Motor City, who has his opportunities given to him through the SFL to be a broadcaster, and how that's helped him out with everything that he does. And it just means so much to everybody to have the SFL and to keep going. So I don't know what I'd do without Cam. So I'm sure it'd probably tell me off for saying that, but yeah.
I agree. I meant to ask you this before I did the shout out, but web administrator. So has it become easier for you since everything is automated now?
Well, I mean, I think for me, it's not really necessarily changed so much, just because I think for a lot of the, we're obviously getting bigger and bigger. My element of the website is purely sort of the sort of maintenance of it, I suppose. And the stat side of things, we're always looking to try and make it better. But the way that we have our system set up, it's been very heavily customized to fit our needs, and that can sometimes make it a bit unmanageable. I gotta give a big shout out to Chief, because he gets all his stats entered and stuff like that, and I don't know how he does it sometimes. And I put the website together, and it's sort of wrangling it to essentially produce the outcome that you want. And he's done such a great job with working on the website. So the portal is a huge, the person who developed it, it's absolutely incredible what they've managed to do. It's way beyond my skill set. So I'm very much like an observer and admirer of what the web dev for the portal has put together. But
it started with you, though. It started with you.
Well, I remember. I've never got any claims. I call myself a website administrator because I don't like calling myself a website developer, because I very much I'm like doing the equivalent of putting Lego blocks on top of each other when it comes to the website. And I think even with like what the Jack's Data people are putting together with like their spreadsheets and stuff like that, that's an incredible feat on itself. And big shout out to Hunter and all those people for that. But the sorry, I've lost my train of thought. The essentially with the website, you know, back when I originally started, Cam was putting all the website together himself manually. And the biggest thing that I could do for him was essentially saving time, because we went from having a website which took him, I don't know how many hours, 10 hours or something to put together manually every page, to taking 10 minutes. And that was the biggest benefit for him. But that very much was him coming to me and saying, oh, I think you have some experience with this. Maybe you would be able to help me. And I remember, I think it was like, this was still back when we were on Slack, because before we moved to Discord, we used to use Slack for all of our SFL communications. And I remember like Cam saying something like, well, we didn't know that Liam had any experience with this when he first joined the league. And I think that's one of Cam's best talents, is just being able to identify people who can sort of do certain things, whether or not they're super experienced at it or not, because my area is sort of IT and not necessarily websites. But now I'm in the business of doing support for websites, when that all initially came from where I started off with the SFL. So it's weird. It was a weird journey to sort of get there, and I never anticipated that you know, I'd be taking road trips going down to Vegas, or I'd be in Vegas with so many people,
Right.
Such a diverse group of people, and it's really nice to meet so many people. So and that all comes from, you know, the opportunities afforded to me through the SFL. So I'm very grateful to Cam and everybody for what you have all done for me. So yeah.
That I think you said it perfectly. You know, it's a lot of opportunities that you may not have been able to take advantage of if you weren't here. You know, it's a lot of things. I probably would have never learned how to edit videos or cut highlights or even do a podcast without being here. So yeah, big shout out to Cam for providing a space where we all can grow, you know, on the field and even in our own lives to be something greater than we are. So, but Liam, thank you so much for being here, brother. I really appreciate you. And please come back whenever you can. And who knows, maybe we'll catch each other in the playoffs.
Well, do. Thanks, AJ.
All right, love. See you soon. Bye. All right, everybody, and we are back with my third Fourth and Goal interview tonight, and he is Mr. Skinny Washington. He is the cornerback for my beloved Tulsa Desperados. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing? Appreciate you letting me come on here.
I am doing pretty good, but I must say, I was going to leave this out, but I am embarrassed because I forgot what team he was on temporarily. And you reminded me, you know. It's like, I knew you was a quarterback, which kind of threw me off with the rookie sensation thing. For some reason, it just, you know. But thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. So what's been up with you, man? What's been up with you? I think the last time I saw you, you was on Eddie's show.
Yep, I think so.
Mm-hmm. What's been going on with you?
Well, the last interview I did was on around the SFL, actually. But
with Mike O'Neill?
The last time you see me was on Eddie's show, yeah.
Awesome. So you making your rounds. All right, I like it.
Yeah.
So what's been going on with you? What's new with Skinny Washington?
Nothing's really new, just same old as far as me. I don't want to use the word daredevil, but what's the word?
Adventurous?
Yes, but not in the sense of like I want to climb mountains. ever. It's more in the sense like a risk taker.
Okay.
I just live my life like that. More often than not, I lose, but I don't know. I just like the experience of trying things that, one, that I'm scared of, and two, that I've never done.
Really? Can you name one thing that you were scared of that you actually did, and it was like, man, this wasn't even that bad?
Well, I used to be scared of heights.
Okay. That's a big one.
And I end up jumping straight out of there and getting a job where I was climbing this like 300-foot tower every day. It was my job. To the point where I'm not scared no more. I used to be scared of semi trucks. I used to hate driving, and they always seem like they end up beside you and you in the middle.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I hate that.
Hey, listen. I used to be terrified of them. I ended up becoming a truck driver, got a CDL, driving them. Like I was scared of motorcycles. I was scared of driving a 5-speed. I sold my automatic car, bought a 5-speed, and forced myself to learn. Traded that car to a bike, forced myself to learn how to drive a bike. Now I can do all of them. I'm not scared of any of that. That's just how I live. I know it's weird, it's unorthodox, but that's how I am.
That is dope though, because a lot of times you have to step out on faith and believe in yourself, that you're able to learn these things, and that you're able to accomplish whatever you want. Then 9 times out of 10, you realize it wasn't really that bad to begin with. Like for me, getting on a plane, I was like, what?
That's one that I have to do. That's one that I have to do, and I still ain't mustered enough to do it. But yeah, that's one I gotta do.
If you can drive a motorcycle, that if you don't get too many chances.
Control.
I'm saying
the biggest thing with me, I like to be in control of things. When I'm not in control,
that's when you worry. Okay.
Yes.
I get that. I get that. But as long as that plane take off on time and land safely, we all good to go.
Right.
Faith over fear always, right?
Yeah.
But hey, man, so Tulsa has been doing an amazing job this season. I think that there are a few teams that kind of get overlooked sometimes. Perhaps, they're just not on that first page or not on everybody's forefront in their mind. But Tulsa is definitely one of those teams that have been doing exceptionally well this season. So much so that you guys are leading your division. And I like seeing it. I like seeing the camaraderie that I'm seeing on the field. I like to see how everything has meshed together for you all to be as effective as you have been. So what do you think changed for them? Besides, of course, you coming in building it, it's
definitely not me. I just think our front office is top tier. I think maybe I have changed the culture a little bit there, not in the sense that like I'm not tooting my own horn or anything, but what I mean by that is I've pretty much became the voice of Tulsa as far as I'm the talker. I'm running I'm like the vocal leader over there. So I'm running the mouth, and I think is put us in a position that, unfortunately, without me thinking this could be a consequence, but it put us in a position that they have to back up the trash talk that I'm talking. And I think it stepped up their game to a whole nother level. And I think they just top notch. Like, and as long as we can retain our players, I think we're going to be a force.
I agree. And I think that is the key. Retention is definitely key because you're able to grow together. You're able to, your coaches can better game plan because they know what they're going to get. They know how you move. They know what they told you to, or what they suggested for you to do for your progressions and things like that. So, hey, awesome. And you got, still some people that I played with, when I was there, Corey Jones and Nate Heslop, and it's good to see those guys still there, still making a difference, along with the new faces that are there too. So, tell me, what is the locker room like right now? Is that you guys are number one division, that you're just doing so well?
We're not the type of locker room to ever get too high or too low.
Okay.
We real even kill over there. Like, when we win, we just feel like we're supposed to win. When we lose, we shouldn't have lost. So it's we just have that mentality. We never get too high. We know, like when we lost our last game, we knew that we gotta step it up, and that's the end of it. Nobody's really in there griping over it, because we know we gotta time to refocus on the next game, and let's keep it moving.
That's right. On to the next one. Now, you guys played the Sioux Falls Sparrows, which is one of the cornerstone teams of the league. And while they've had their struggles, it just seems like they had a better game. I'm looking at the stats from it. You guys had 200 passing yards and 93 rushing yards. They definitely passed the ball a little bit more, with 3 passing touchdowns. So by you being a cornerback, are you finding that you're getting tested? Your side of the field is getting tested at all, or?
Yeah, but I don't know if they game plan this, but they kept me off the field. They kept our pass defense, like our core pass defense, off the field as much as possible. They was in a lot of heavy sets, which puts us in a run fits instead of pass fits, and they was taking advantage of that. So I probably played 6 or 7 snaps that game. I didn't play much, and that's the same thing that Motor City did to us. I played maybe 2 snaps that game. I think they just had a good game plan. We're not very good at stopping the pass, but it's a double-edged sword because we cause a lot of turnovers as well. But
yeah,
if we don't capitalize on them, we're gonna have our opportunities. If we don't capitalize on the opportunities, we're gonna get shredded, and that's just what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I see the time of possession for you guys was 17 minutes, and the time of possession for them was 26 minutes. Both of you did have 2 turnovers, but it seems like it was more so a slow start for you guys during the game. Like the first quarter, there was no points, where they scored 10. And then it's like they kept scoring. They didn't score anything in the fourth quarter, but every quarter matters. And what you have at the end of each quarter would definitely, add up. But like I said, I think y'all are on the right path. I think you guys are doing fantastic. And I think that you're definitely going to be, keep up with the good work. And we'll definitely see you in the playoffs, And it'll be interesting to see how deep you go in the playoffs too. Now, another thing, I noticed that the stadium name changed. Can you tell us a little bit about that name change? I know it was Greenwood District Stadium at one point. Now it's Lucy Stadium.
Lucy Red.
Lucy Red. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we got a sponsor from the energy drink, which I still haven't had a chance to try that, but I will eventually. But yeah, we got a sponsor from them. So they took the stadium name. I don't know the history behind the previous stadium name. I'm pretty sure I probably played 1 game, maybe 2 in the last stadium name before we got that sponsor, and then it's been Lucy Red ever since. So.
Gotcha. Well, tell them to hook me up with one. I'll try it. Try some Lucy Red energy drink. I'd like to try it, see what it's about. The history of that Greenwood is actually, it's actually, I would suggest you look it up, and maybe on another show we can definitely go into detail with it, because of time constraints. But it is a very serious thing, and I understand why he named it the way he did. And it was just interesting to me to see him change it but it's good, for a good cause, for a good reason. So I totally understand. So, but yeah, just look up Greenwood District in Tulsa, and it'll tell you a whole lot about why that was so significant and why that was important to me when I was a part of the team. So, but so far, who do you think was the toughest opponent that Tulsa faced and overcame?
Faced and overcame?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a tough one. I think probably Canton, because we caught them right before the streak. I think they figured it out when they was at us. We just was on a hot streak, and not to mention, they started to come back. Like if the game was 5 quarters, it could have got ugly for us. So I think we luckily we got them before they hit the streak, because they on fire right now. And I really think they figured it out when they got to us. We got them. But
yeah, you did.
So far, I think that was the toughest one.
I mean, and it looks like when you guys do beat someone, I mean, you're scoring 40 points. So Indianapolis Ramblers, y'all scored 48 on them. Canton, y'all scored 41. Looking for the other ones. Looks like I have a bye week here. So yeah, and even with Queen City, which was another Cornerstone team that you guys won against. That was a big game too, 24-12. So you guys are definitely getting those points, scoring those points that is necessary. Even 34 points over the Minnesota Legends. So you guys are getting the numbers in. It's just about consistency. And I think once that takes place, I think you guys are going to be fantastic, because right now you guys are scoring that 24, 30 points, 40 points a game. So that's fantastic. What do you think, in your opinion, that Tulsa could do better to keep games like Sioux Falls games from happening, in your opinion?
Well, for one, we're not, during the season, we're just not a fast starting team. Mm-hmm. And when we do start fast, that's when we have the complete games. Because we can speed Dougie fresh, we can play the type of game we want to play. But when we start getting behind, we have to abandon the run. And I think that's our driving force. That's our engine. We had to abandon that and become a full-blown passing team. And I just don't think we're that. I mean, I just don't think that's our identity. We have the weapons to do it, but I don't think that's our identity. So if we can start fast and score when we get to the red zone, and not field goals. You can't keep taking field goals in there. The good teams, they score touchdowns. They don't kick field goals. So if we can do that, and if we can be consistent throughout the whole game, we tend to get really, I don't know if we're getting tired, but we tend to lack off in the fourth quarter quite often. And that causes a lot of teams to come back, or even a lot of teams to completely blow us out by that time. So,
gotcha. Because you got DC up next,
right?
And so, what are your thoughts on that game?
I wasn't part of the team, but they did beat them already. I don't think Tulsa's scared of them. Tulsa takes them serious, of course. We take every opponent serious, but I don't think we're intimidated by any means. So we're going to come out and we're going to play our game. Just another game.
Okay. I mean, you're sitting pretty at number 7 in the league standings right now.
It's a big game. We need it, but
yeah. Definitely. Kind of separate yourself, give yourself a little bit more room, but fantastic stuff, man. Fantastic stuff. So I got a question. One of my hot topic questions was, how do you feel? I'm not sure if you got a chance to speak with Matt Wilson or even maybe see some of the interviews that were done in the past, but they want to name or they're thinking about possibly naming a trophy after him or an award after him, maybe like MVP or something. Would you be opposed to that, or what are your feelings on that? Or do you know enough about Matt Wilson to even?
Yeah, anytime I do anything, I do research. So I've been back in the SFL archives really deep. So I know what he meant to the league and everything. I'm not opposed to it, but there is a but.
Okay.
When, like, for instance, we recently had somebody else that passed away.
Then Butler
So
Senior.
how do we determine? It's almost the reason why I'm not opposed to it, but I wouldn't consider it, because how do we determine like who gets? So for instance, Matt Wilson was from, I never got to talk to him, but from what I've seen throughout the league, he was a great guy. And everybody that passed away is a great guy in this league. So do they not get, like, I don't want it to feel like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't want anybody to feel like slighted. So that's why I would be a little hesitant in doing that. I don't want anybody to feel like they're less special. You know what I'm saying? These are all everybody's loved ones. So I don't want some loved one to feel that their loved one was less special to the league than Matt Wilson.
Yes, I get that. I definitely understand that. That is a good point, because we lost Richard Pratchett too. We lost, so it's going to be interesting to see if that will be taken into consideration. Or maybe if we can have a memorandum wall or something like that, maybe something like that to commemorate the ones that we lose. But I thought that was just a good question that was posed by Joseph Lama of Portland, just to gauge everything. But you made a lot of sense too, so I like that.
Right, that. Like, I'm not opposed to him having a trophy. I think he probably deserves one. But I do think there needs to be something in place where we, just like you said, we like put everybody.
Everyone is acknowledged.
Right.
Got it. I got it. Good stuff. So you still doing your music thing?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't dove back in, but I'm doing it.
Okay. Even, like when we talked about it, I was saying that even if you don't decide to dive all the way back into it, if it made you happy, if it brought you some joy, and if it brought that creativity out of you and things like that, you should definitely continue on with it. I'll use music. You see what I do to Paulie all the time. Yeah. I've done it for Lloyd Graham. He is Baltimore's tight end. I have featured a lot of different songs, man. Even if you got some instrumentals that you want to do, I can deal with that too. Yeah. So, but yeah, I like promoting the creativity of the league, because there's a lot of creative people out here, that's a part of it. So, but Skinny, did you have any questions for me? Did you have anything that you wanted to maybe get off your mind? Maybe something that you had any questions about?
No, but I'm gonna just say this because it's not really a question. It's more like a
statement.
A statement.
Sure, that's fine.
I'm just gonna say this because a lot of people. It seems like, I could be wrong, but it seems like a lot of people are either threatened by me or don't know how to take me. I'm just like this, okay? I don't mean no harm. I think I rub a lot of people the wrong way because I ask questions about ownership. And I think people shouldn't act like that. People should want more people to want to learn that type of stuff. But I think the moment I said that, now this don't go for all owners because there's a lot of owners in the league that I'm actually really cool with. And I talk to on a daily basis. Well, not daily basis, but I talk to often. And they cool with it and they give me the game. But it's like some of the old school guys, they see this new breed coming in and it's kind of hard.
Apprehensive.
Some of the old school guys, they see the new breed and they don't like it and they can't stand it because it's a little different. And I just don't think, I'm a nice guy. I don't think y'all should act like that. I just wanted to say that.
Well, I'm glad that you got that, off your mind. And you will find some people are stuck in their ways and how they feel about certain things. But I think in the grand scheme of things, we're all here to have a good time. We're all here to, display any talents that we may have, or just be a brother or sister to each other. And if those naysayers or those people that have an issue with times changing, because they are, they're going to have to wind up dealing with it anyway, But I also understand that when you are talking about ownership, that is it's a very serious thing, because we have had people, when I was explaining to KJ, Alexio, and Adam Chance when they first arrived, that is not too often that you find rookies that will become owners, because the ownership group doesn't know how long you're going to last. They don't know if you came into it with the same intentions or the same drive and the same passion as they have, to be here day in and day out and put forth the effort and everything. So it's like, if they could see that and they can trust that, then it's cool. But when you have so many new people that come in and then they might leave, not saying that you're one of those people by any means, but you have so many people that come in, they say they want this, they say they want that. And then if they get it and they're like, oh man, this is too hard, this is too much. Okay, so now it's almost like you just got to show proof, you got to show proof that you're about it and that you're serious about it. And the opportunity will present itself, just like me. I've been in the league for a while before I came in on it. I was here, this is my 6th season. Yeah. But I knew that was something that I wanted and eventually. But if it's for you and it's something that you're passionate about, Skinny, if that's something that you really want to get into, then you align yourself with those right people that's going to teach you the right thing and welcome you in. Don't worry about it.
I know. I mean, it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
That's just my mindset. But I just don't want anybody to feel threatened. There's no need to feel threatened. Like, yeah, it's a new breed that's coming in, new owners. The league is evolving, but that's a good thing. Like, don't fight it. Just like, you don't have to fight it. It's almost like they don't want to give you the game. Like, I would never be that type of OG. Like, I'm gonna give the game. I want to give the game to all the new people, but it's like some people just don't want to get a game. Like, they just, I don't know.
Well, like I said, you've got some owners that you talk to pretty often. So you pull their coats and you let them know that this is something that I want and I would like to be groomed for that. You can even talk to Dion about it. Dion is really good about, like, whatever you got, whatever plans you want to do. If you want to scout, if you want to do this, that, and other, he'll set you up for success. That's one thing that I do know about him. So get with him, get with people that you trust.
I do a little scouting already.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I think you'll be good. I think you'll be good when the opportunity presents itself. Be ready and learn it.
I got everything. I don't just talk about stuff. I got everything already mapped out. So
nice.
I'm always ready for everything. See, I think like 10 moves ahead, but me asking questions doesn't mean that I'm trying to be an owner tomorrow. It just means I'm getting my mind right for, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Go tell them that You don't even need them. You don't need them because where they won't help, people like myself, people like Eddie, we got you. All right.
Yep.
All right, man. But it is a pleasure hanging out with you. And I would like for you to come back on whenever you can, because now this particular show is going to be kind of long because I got a lot of guests. But I want you to come back so we can get to know more personally about you, you know, and how you found the league and just more about Skinny, you know. But I cannot let you go, Skinny, without giving you the last word. So that could be a song, that can be a poem, or that can be just a simple shout out to whomever you like. But right now, Skinny, the floor is yours.
Shout out to, even though you're sitting in front of me, shout out to you, shout out to Eddie, shout out to Van, shout out to my whole Tulsa team, shout out to San Jose, everybody that's on the team now, everybody that came to draft with me. And shout out to the record books because I'm about to be in it. So
Ooh, okay. Looking forward, man. I'm looking. You better make it. Because if you don't, I'm gonna let you know that too. All right, Skinny. I'll see you soon, brother. Be safe.
thank you.
All right. Bye. Welcome back to my fourth and goal interview with my good friends that have come together with me, Mr. Damon Simmons, Mr. Mike St. Green, and Mr. Eddie Gage. We're all here together to kind of have a little fun, kind of catch up, because it has been a while since you guys have been on the show. Well, not you, Eddie. You've been on relatively something, but some of the other two good friends. How y'all been doing?
Been doing good. Been doing good. How about you?
Dealing with this 110-degree weather, but other than that, I'm good.
Anybody tell you to drive to the desert? You want to move to the desert?
I didn't drive. I would have made it with my car.
I was trying to say move. I was trying to say move to the desert.
Hey, well, you know, got a little darker, you know, it's good for the skin, you know what I'm saying? So,
That's
and
right.
my hair was definitely built for it. So,
Look, Ashley, I can remember in 2008, I had moved to Louisiana.
Mhm.
And like the first week I was there, I was homesick. And I was talking to one of my cousins about it, and he was like, ain't nobody tell you to pack up your whole damn dresser and move over there?
Well, it's hot in Georgia. It's just different. The heat is dry here versus humid. So I mean, that's cool.
I'll take the dry heat over that humidity any day of the week. Y'all can have that humidity.
But then Texas is pretty hot too.
They can have that humidity. They can really have that humidity over there. I'm good with that. You wake up, you walk out the shower sweating. Like, come on, man. How you get out the shower sweating? That's ridiculous. Y'all can have that nonsense, bro. Especially down in southern Texas, Houston and all that, man. Y'all can have that nonsense. It should be illegal to be that hot and humid at the same time.
Okay, what's the 115 degrees and dry heat? Come on. So,
Yeah, but we're not sweating like that, though.
But still, it's still 115. We're going to go through all that.
Just drink some water and you'll be fine. Keep some water on you.
Gentlemen, welcome. Welcome back to the show. Houston Headhunters and Arizona Scorpions. Lord have mercy. Just
How did this happen?
I don't know. You know,
We shouldn't be talking to y'all. We shouldn't be talking to y'all right now.
I mean, you shouldn't, but you can't help it.
Well, we played them already, so that's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, when I
For
tell
now.
you pins
For
and
now.
needles, that whole game, pins and needles, we only won by 1 point. I was like, Eddie, what in the hell? And we was all just like, just don't throw the ball, Ash. Don't do nothing. Just sit on the ball. The last minute and 4 seconds, don't do a damn thing. Don't even let Cliff go kick it. It might get blocked. But man, it was a hell of a game to watch. I have to give kudos to your defense, man. Y'all have been scary. And you don't know what to really prepare for. So I could tell you guys have been changing things up on with the game plan and things like that. So how's your season going in your eyes, Damon and Mike?
You want me to go first, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead and go first, Mark. I mean, I could, but just go ahead, bro.
I mean, the record is sitting at 5-3 right now. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I feel that no one has really outplayed us in the 3 games that we lost. So I really feel that we should be undefeated. We should be 8-0. You know, that's just my take on it. If you look at the games that we lost, they were about a total of what? Let me see.
7 points.
7 points. Yeah, by a total of 7 points. You know, Atlanta beat us by 3. You guys beat us by 1. And, you know, the game versus Lone Star, man, I just don't have no words for that game. That was just horrible. You know, we up 24-10 at half, and this team shuts us out in the second half completely. And, you know, we don't score again, you know, in the second half, and they come back and win that game. That was just, you know, kind of bizarre and ludicrous to me. But other than that, man, I feel okay with the record that we had. But offensively, I think that's where we're hurting at offensively. Is just that the reason why I say this is because for some odd reason we're not running the ball. You know, we only issuing out 10 to 14 carries a game. You know, when you have a back like GP Wells, you at least want to get him anywhere between 20 to 24 touches and carries, handoffs. You know, not including passes coming out of the backfield. So I feel that once we figure out how to get back into that 20 carry or 20 touches range for him coming out of the backfield, I think we'll be okay. The offense will be a whole lot more balanced. Right now, it's extremely unbalanced, and you know, we just trying to get it together. Other than that, everything's cool.
Yes. Mike?
Yeah, I kind of want to echo a little bit of what Damon said. I mean, 5-3. I think it's a disappointing 5-3. Just, you know, from the same standpoint, I think a couple of plays, you know, here or there in any of those games, Atlanta, the Arizona game, and of course the game that we just played on Saturday. Just one play here or there in those games, I think that we're easily 8-0. We knew coming into the season that the defense, and in particular the D-line, was going to be a strong point of the team. You know, we have I think all 4 of the defensive linemen in the top 20 in sacks, and then you know, then the bonus part is that, you know, Josh Rowe really just continuing what he was doing last season. I think he's up to 10 interceptions. I think that's leading the league right now. Isabella Blackwell, I mean, she's been just excellent pickup in you know, in the free agent market, and I felt like she really rounded out our free agent class, and she's done a great job over there. And then Kai Cash, man, he really didn't start out the season that strong, man. He had a real strong game against Lone Star. I mean, the secondary, D-line, and really truly the linebackers. I mean, the entire defense. It's really hard to take anything away from any of them. They've been really doing a good job. But and as you know, and even with that being said, as Damon's talking about our offensive struggles, I think we need to clean up some stuff on defense. We've been really having trouble getting off the field on third down. But other than that, man, we've been pretty good. So we can clean that up. The last third of the season, last 4 games, you know, like I said, if we feel like we were going to be 8-0, no disrespect to anybody, but I just feel like the last 4 games are winnable, and we can just go in. If we can go ahead and take care of business in at least 3 out of that 4, you know, we'll set ourselves up nicely for the playoffs.
Yes, well, you're number 2 in your division right now, and I believe you are right behind us in the league standing, so not too far off from where you need to be. Speaking of shout-outs, Corey Meter, nice interception touchdown that he had last game too. So, you know, y'all added some beats over there. And I know when we play each other, like I said, there is no comfortable moments with that, especially since you, Damon, and Eddie work so closely together. So, Eddie, what are your thoughts on the season so far? You muted, by the way. What are your thoughts on the season so far and how we have progressed as a unit?
Well, first of all, I got to make a note of that. GP Wells, not happy with 15 carries. Recruit him for season 20. Got it.
It's not us. It's not us. It's not us, man. I mean, it's the AI. I mean, that's the only thing I can say.
Hold on,
he calling you.
Scorpion jersey, size large. I got you.
I almost spit out my drink.
No, I love DJ Moses II. That's my dude. I'm just playing with y'all.
Yeah.
But so we're currently 6-2. Started the season off with two wins, and then we got blown out by Mexico City, and kind of knocked us back into reality. And then we got back on a nice little streak. Then we lost to Vegas, in which Mason Kirby got lamented further into all-star status, and which we could not stop him until he had 5 catches and 4 of them went for touchdowns. The game was back and forth until in the third quarter. It was third and freaking forever. And our DN, D.D. Sachs, hit the quarterback. He shrugged him off. I've never seen a football go 70 yards in the air in All-Pro until that day. I didn't even think it was even possible. And somehow Maurice Lloyd just missed tipping it. And Mason Kirby caught it for a touchdown. We got a dog walk that day, but since then we went on to win 3 straight, and we 6-2 going into our second bye week. So, but I can't get too complacent because those standards can do a complete 180 in a matter of a week or two. So I gotta stick to the grind. I told myself I was gonna take some time off on this second bye week because I didn't do it the last time around. But I promised myself I was going to take a couple of days off at least to kind of get rehydrated, so to speak, and allow myself to get, recharged and refreshed to get back at it for these last few games and hopefully prepare for the playoffs. So right now we're in a good spot, but like I say, you can't take it lightly. We got Florida coming up next, and I'm sure Mighty is not happy with the way their season going. They're also on the bye week, so I'm sure he's going to come back with a vengeance, ready to go. So then we got 2 home games left, 2 road games, including with that last game being a rematch against Vegas. And I like our chances of making the playoffs, but like I said, I can't take my foot off the gas, and got to stick to the grind, man. No days off around here, you know that.
Indeed. I think the changes that you have made on offense has definitely helped. Well, at least us play better. I don't recall a season where I had more than 1 game where I didn't throw an interception.
This season you do.
Right. So it's the steady changes that you make, and it's starting to show in the work that you're putting out there. So I think that if you continue down the line that you're doing, just thinking outside the fight, thinking outside the box, like Mighty told you, I think that you can definitely take.
Don't be giving away all the secrets now, Ashley. Come on.
He said it on the show. Anybody that watched the show, if you missed the show, if you missed that part, you just missed out on some gold. But it's important that anybody should, because you don't know what to prepare for.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we only beat Houston by 1 point. We almost did.
You know
what I mean?
I'm gonna say it with my chest, Ashley. I'm gonna say it with my chest. The mom, my dude, he know that. That's my guy. Talk to him every day. But we should have won that game by at least 2 scores. And I see Mike over there shaking his head. Now let me tell you something. So Mike was sitting there talking about that interception they threw would have made it a 2-score lead for them. It ain't my fault that our defense stepped up and made a play, but when Connor dropped the interception, he had a touchdown in the end zone in his hand. Yeah. He bobbled and dropped it. Come on, man. That was 7 right there. Then Will tied on second down. It wasn't a defender within 7-8 yards of him, and he bobbled it twice and dropped it. That got picked off, and that led to y'all getting a field goal. Man, you take away them 3 points. I'm sorry, them 10 points off the board and put that 7 back to us. We win by at least 2 scores, and I'm like, but you know what?
Well, hey man, look,
I tell Ashley all the time.
Progression still open. Progression's still open. Tell him to go put some catch on this week.
Hey man, his catch is max, bro. all my receivers.
Progression's still open. They got
all my receivers. The catch is maxed.
They got about 4 hours, man. Tell them to put some catch on.
We ain't got to worry about that.
We ain't got to worry about that. Our progression done already.
Don't tell them they can switch. They can switch. I don't hear all that crying about if they would have caught it.
Hey, I'm not crying like I tell Ashley. Like I tell Ashley all the time. And the same thing Will tells me when he don't get any catches. It's only one stat at the end of the day that matters, and that's the W. So if we get the W, I could catch. You ask anybody in my locker room, I don't care if I'm getting an interception for the rest of the season. If we get W's, that's all I care about.
Now, Scoops. Now you talked about the 2 to 3 plays that didn't fall you guys' way. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's talk about the opportunities that we had from the 4 or 5 picks we caused in the first half of the game, and not capitalizing and scoring and putting up points off of those takeaways. We scoring all of those takeaways we got in the first half. That game wouldn't have been as close as it was.
So you want my defense just get out the way and let y'all run it? So you want to say, all right, y'all, they got to pick. Get out the way, let GP run it in.
I mean, exactly. Do just that for us.
But we did get a call, though. We did get a call that we wasn't supposed to get that game. I think it was a catch that they ruled out, but they wound up reversing it, so we actually got.
I remember that. I think that was D.R. Sim who caught that, and they ruled it incomplete.
Yeah. And I think he challenged it. Yeah.
Y'all had some things fall y'all way. But hey, good game.
And I respect that, because you guys, the thing is, it was a chess match to begin with, because you guys know each other. Y'all work together, So now you got to remember how he used to do things on offense, how he used to do things on defense, and then do your own thing. I thought it was a great game to watch. But at one point,
he wasn't necessarily going by what Damon did on defense in the past.
Yeah,
I'll leave that alone. I'll leave that sit right there.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't going off what defense he ran in the past, but I was looking at.
I'm talking about Eddie. She was saying Eddie knew what you used to run in the past. I think that's what she's saying.
Yeah, kind of. In a way, yes, because you guys work together.
But since then, since Eddie and I work together, that I do not run that same style of offense. It's completely revamped now.
Nor does he run that same style of defense.
Yeah, exactly. Like back then, when I did defense,
I didn't. Eddie thinking. Eddie just trying to figure out
what am I thinking about? The game is over.
I don't know.
The game ain't nothing to think about.
You may have to play us again. You may have to play us again. Who knows?
Interesting.
Looking forward to that. I'll be looking forward to that one. So.
Yeah, the tendencies and stuff like that. But that's that's all good stuff. Where do you guys see how deep in the playoffs do you perceive yourselves going?
I mean, we make it to the playoffs. There's only one thing in mind, and that's championship status. There have been seasons where I made it to the first round, quarterfinals, back-to-back season to the semifinals. If you make it to the playoffs, is nothing. Finishing in the big dance, that's when you really get your recognition, and the eyeballs are on you. You can tell recruits, hey, we made it to the playoffs last season. Won't you come on over here? That's nothing. You know how many other teams made it to the playoffs? So the status for me is basically championship or bust. I can't say first round, second round, semifinals or bust. Is championship or bust for us, because our defense has been playing so great. With that, we basically have a championship defense, if you ask me, especially from our defensive line. As Mike stated earlier, coming into the season, we knew that was going to be the strong point of our defense, and that they was going to make a lot of noise. And as he stated, we got those 4 guys on the top 20 in sacks. At one point in time, I think we were leading the league in sacks, if we're still not leading the league in total sacks for a team.
I've been on teams, and we probably all been on teams that were making the playoffs probably was the goal of that season. And if you get in, you go further, cool. My first season in London, team had never had a winning record, and to get in at 6-6, to be honest with you, I think it would have been unrealistic for us to think that we were going to run the table and make it to the championship game and all that. If we would have, of course, great. That's what everybody, striving to do. But not with this Houston team. Like a lot of people didn't really expect anything from us, from what I gather coming into this season, because they were looking at, oh man, Houston, they have, I think about eight or nine free agent spots that they need to fill. Of course, some of those were already assumed with myself and Butch and Corey and things like that. But a lot of people didn't know which direction we were going to go. Like, no one knew that we were going to sign GP, Tom Tanner, and switch Butch over to the defensive line. And a lot of people didn't know we were going to do things like that. So I think we were a little overlooked in the preseason. But, the team is really, it's really meshed really well. And I've been telling the guys really from day one, once that free agent class was solidified and we got a couple of the guys that we got in the draft, I really felt like, we're on the verge of doing something special. And unlike the London team that I mentioned, I don't consider this some big 2 or 3 season project. I feel like we're ready to win right now. All we got to do is get in and take it game by game. Man, I think anything can happen.
Yeah.
All right, then. Go, Eddie. You muted.
My bad.
Okay.
My goal every week, including if and when we get to the playoffs, is to find a way whatsoever to go 1-0 every week. That's my goal. I don't look to get to the playoffs and go 3-0 or 4-0. My goal is every week to find a way whatsoever to win that game that week and think about next week, the following week. So of course, every season, my goal is to win a championship. I think that's every coach's goal. Whether they believe in that or not, I don't know. But I still don't back down from my stance of going 12-0 and all that, all the backlash I got for that. My goal every week is to find a way to win that week. So if I can win every week, I'm going to be 12-0. Or Arizona's going to be 12-0. Now, am I realistic and think I'm going to go 12-0 every damn season? Of course it's not realistic. It's too many damn competitive teams and coaches out here trying their hardest to beat you. But if I take it 1 week at a time, one game at a time, and I can find a way to go 1-0, then my goal next week is to go 1-0 next week. So of course, if and when Arizona gets to the playoffs, our goal is to win a championship. I remember when I got the team and I was talking to people, I'm like, damn, and the schedule came out season 14, I'm like, I gotta play this team. Damn it.
I remember.
But I always told myself, like I told the locker room that same season, early in the season, I want Arizona to get to the point where I'm not looking like, damn, I gotta play this team, Baltimore, this team. I want those teams to say, damn, we got Arizona on the schedule. God, it's gonna be a headache. And I think I'm getting to that point, but I got more work to do. So there you go.
Good stuff, gentlemen. Good stuff. Who do you think is more likely, since we brought up London a few times, who do you think is more likely to go into the playoffs, at least undefeated? Baltimore or London?
London.
Why is that?
I mean, basically, they have the easier schedule. I mean, and Baltimore's schedule, the remaining schedule is not that difficult either. They do have they have Carolina this week, but the main thing, they have DC at the end, and I think DC is more likely to probably put an L on Baltimore than anybody that's remaining on London's schedule. I mean, they've already played Vancouver. I think the only the other repeat division matchup they have, I think, is Queen City. No, it's Motor City. because I think they have Queen City this week. They have Motor City at the end of the schedule. And I'm not sure if they played LA or not, but those are some tough games. But the way that they've been playing, I can't see any of those teams beating them right now.
I would echo. Go
ahead, Scoops.
I will echo his comment in regards to. I think Baltimore is clearly heads and above the best team in the league right now. Mm-hmm. But London has the easier path to remain undefeated. Baltimore has to play DC. I believe that game's in DC. If I remember correct, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's in DC because they played their first one in Baltimore.
Right. So Baltimore, I think, is a better team as far as players go, their builds go, as far as the coaching goes, but London has the easier path to get there. I don't think, looking at London's schedule, I don't think they've played a team right now that's above 500. I think they got some teams that's at 500, but not above 500. So that's just something you got to keep in mind.
Yeah, you're right at this point because Vancouver's 4-4.
Right.
Sioux Falls, I think they already played them. They're 4-4.
Right.
Everybody else is below 500.
Good point. That's a good point to make. Come on.
Yeah, I pick it back up the same thing these guys says as well. But this is the twist that I have. Will London step up to the challenge in the playoffs when they play a more versatile team or a more prepared team that's either that match up equally to them or match up greater than them? How would they do once they come, face a team that has a record that's above 500 or so, and that's been putting up, some pretty good wins throughout the season or so. Taking nothing away from that team and that organization or so, but as the other two guys stated, they had the easier path to where they are now, but hey, you play who is in front of you. Whatever the schedule say who you play, that's who you got to play. But you have to go out on the field and execute and take care of your business. And that's basically what they've been doing. So kudos to them for that. But my thing is, will they be able to stand up to the to the challenge in the playoffs when they get there?
All good points, Jim. All right, so we are back. So, I'm wondering that there was a question that was posed in the suggestion channel about naming the trophy after Matt Wilson in honor of him. I was wondering what your thoughts were on that. And the secondary question to that would be how, if you do that, then would you also make a Richard Pratchett Award or a Leonard Butler Sr. Award? How would that work? Bless you.
You could probably do that if you name the championship trophy after Matt. Then the other two, I would say you would have to, if the league decides to name trophies after the other two, I would say do some type of award for their respective positions or so, right? Okay. Rich Pratchett, you can do a wide receiver of the year award or something like that, like how, in college football has it. Certain positions awards are named after great players that played that position, like the Biletnikoff Award. That's the award for wide receivers in college football, the Jim Thorpe Award for the secondaries, so on and so on like that, whatever. I think that would be a great idea to do, if you do it that way though. But I feel that the championship award should be named after the commissioner. That's just my own personal, opinion. I have no problem with it being named after Matt Wilson because Matt was probably, if not the biggest fan of the SFL, one of the biggest fans of the SFL. The SFL was his life. If you was there at that first convention and you saw him meeting and greeting with everyone and the smile he had on the face, oh man, dude was excited to be there. I think I told Eddie this several times, man. The thing that tripped me out about Matt Wilson, he and Colin Wilson were in their chairs together. Race. And Matt say, Colin, eat my dust. Put two confidence.
No, are you serious?
Took off and started going around the room. Man, that was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
That was so. Somebody said, I want to see you guys race. And before someone could say, get ready, set, go, Matt just say, Colin, eat my dust. And just took off.
Oh, man.
But yeah, dude, really, I mean, just from afar, you know, and just being in that space with him during those few days or so, he really loved the SFL. And I heard this. His first season, which was season 6, he had a game. I want to say it was Santa Fe Gorillas. This was before they moved to before they changed name to Mexico City, and they played against the Skyhawks. And that was like his best game of the season or the start of the season or whatever. Santa Fe was down. They came back in the fourth quarter. I think Matt threw like 4 or 5 touchdowns for over 400 yards or something like that or so. And I ended up hearing through the grapevine that he downloaded that game so that he can go back and watch it anytime that he liked to cheer. He said that he'd do it to cheer himself up or whatever, you know. So that's Matt Wilson right there.
Dedication.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
Let me go find my greatest game and download it. Hold on.
Okay. Gosh. What do y'all think?
Well, I think I'd lean towards what Damon said as far as a championship trophy. I just think that probably should be reserved for the commissioner. You know, let's say if the MVP of the game or the MVP of the league could possibly be named after Matt Wilson, so to speak. But as far as the the other two, I guess I'm the same. I guess you could, but typically and historically, those type of awards have been, positional awards, let's just say, have been reserved for the better players historically at given position. So definitely don't want to sound insensitive to these guys passing. Of course, they're all near and dear to all of our hearts. But at the end of the day, Matt Wilson was the most accomplished. Just went over 50,000 yards. No one's ever done that. If I'm not mistaken, he's a former league MVP. So, the MVP award could be named after him, or the championship game MVP. Yeah, I think that would be cool. But I think the trophy itself, if it were to have a name, I think should be the commissioners.
Gotcha. And Eddie, what do you think?
Ditto. I mean, I echo their comments, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I would name like maybe the Offensive Player of the Year award after Matt Wilson. Maybe name, like last season, I think it was the first time they awarded a Broadcast of the Year. So name that the Rich Pratchett Award. Mm-hmm. And you can name the other award. I mean, you can name I want to say Cadillac style, but I'm not going to say that. But you can name, because I know at one point he was an offensive lineman. Then Butler Senior was. Yeah. But then he moved to defense. So maybe you name an offensive lineman of the year after him, or a defensive lineman of the year after him, or something like that. But as far as the trophy itself, nah.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. Everybody that's been on the show. So I have Liam Crowter, I have Box Highwind, I have Skinny Washington. Of course, you guys asked the same question too. So everybody gave me different answers. Get it black. He is definitely on here, and everybody gave me their opinion about it, and it's amazing the different answers that you get. And I love conversations like this because there's a different perspective that you get the chance to hear and understand from everybody. So, last question to you guys: what is one thing that you've done as coach? And I think Mike, you help out with playbooks too, with scouting, things like that. What is one thing that you have done that you're proud of this season? And then what is one thing that you think that you will have to work on?
Well, I'll start since you mentioned me. And Yeah, and Damon can vouch for a lot of this, but to start, I'm quote unquote the defensive coordinator, and to start the season off, Damon and I talked, and we got some pointers from a prominent owner and coach in this league in off season, just like a few other people have, and
you're welcome.
But it wasn't Eddie. We didn't talk to Eddie.
You may not have talked to me, but your boy have.
The first week of the season, actually, I was out of town, and I told him, Damon, hey man, I can't help you at all this first week.
You wasn't missed.
So obviously not. We had about 17 sacks that first week, but but as the season has gone on, in particular, the past couple of weeks, I've had a whole lot more input. And if I'm not mistaken, the Lone Star defensive game plan was all me. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Damon made some tweaks here or there, but so I've learned a lot of kind of what Eddie said that that Mighty told him. Think outside the box, try some things. I mean, it's really the main thing I've learned is really no one set way of doing things. I mean, there's if it's 28 teams, that means it's probably 40 plus coaches and who knows how many scouts. And we get a lot of input from a lot of people in our scout room as well, with a lot of different ideas. Then we're able to bounce some things off one another. So basically what I've learned is no wrong way. And coming into being a defensive coordinator, I felt like there was going to be this great big learning curve from the standpoint of, hey man, I don't want to mess things up. I don't want to be the reason why we lose a game because I didn't put in a certain coverage or a certain thing like that. But what I am proud of is that I think I've been able to make adjustments and for the better of the team. And I think I'm learning and growing. I mean, it's still a learning process, but I think I'm pretty happy with that I've been able to contribute and put the team in a position to win games.
Good stuff.
Can you repeat the question? I mean, I know.
I know I was long, man. I know.
No, you're good. I'm just forgetful like that, dude. I can remember as a kid, my mom used to send me next door to get salt. I would come back with sugar.
I got you, man. No problem. I got you. So the question was, as a coach, what do you think that you've done that you're proud of, and what do you think that you need to do? What is something that you need to work on?
Okay. I remember that. Okay, gotcha. The one thing I can say that I'm proud of is allowing others to have an input. Actually, I've allowed others to have inputs before, but there were times where that I would come in and overstep, those inputs at times. It wasn't about anything about my way or the highway, but it was also about, I've had, some people, come to me. Actually, Mighty and I've talked, several times, and he's like, how about you just let go, let go of one side of the ball, and then, Mike told me that he would like to learn defense. And I said, okay, cool. Let's link up with someone that knows defense pretty good or so. I know a little bit, but when we hooked up with the individual, man, I ended up learning some stuff I've never even known before. And Mike was like, I can't believe you didn't know some of that stuff. I was like, yeah, I did. But I ended up learning something, so you're never too old to learn anything new or whatever. And that's one thing that I'm proud of, that I was able to allow others to come in and have the input. Co-offensive coordinator Greg Corky has been excellent in providing his input offensively. But there are times where I say, I can't do that, but he has come up with some great ideas that actually has helped, the offense at times or so. But last week game plan was all Mike. I don't think I took anything out of that game plan or so, but he's coming along pretty strong. And one thing I like about Mike is Mike reminds me of Eddie, is that he's not afraid to take gambles. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, man, I ain't taking no gambles, especially on the defense side of the ball, you know. But Mike has opened up and said, hey man, let's just give it a wham. Let's just see what it do. So we'll run sims all throughout the week or whatever, and you know, whatever comes, you know, when we see that we got something that's pretty, you know, productive and successful, that we feel pretty good about, you know, we end up going with that. And we always sharing information, you know, not just me and Mike, but everybody in the scouting room. We're sharing information left and right. Guys are like, try this scenario, try this. This season has been probably the best season I've had when it comes to scouting games, because I'm able to share that information with others on the team and not just keeping all this information crammed up in my head and stressing myself so much throughout the week, you know, and just trying to figure out what to do. And then at 11:59, when playbook is due, I'm like, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? You know, and now I'm calm. I'm submitting playbooks at 8 o'clock now. You know,
you're confident, huh? I ain't got to run not another
yeah. I mean, it's just because of the different scenarios that we're, you know, and feedback that we're getting as a group. You know, I think it's a plus. It's absolutely a plus to have these guys involved in helping out in offense and defense. You know, so I think we got about 4 or 5 scouts or whatever. You know, and man, we booking it. Yeah, so.
All right, man.
Well, can I ask Eddie a question real quick?
Sure.
I thought we were cool, Eddie.
Who said we weren't?
Man, you hadn't called me not one time. You know I've been defensive coordinator all season long. You hadn't called me not one time and say, hey, Mike, you know, you need some pointers on anything.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Your man right there sitting to the right of your face over there. I talk to that brother every week, and every week he asks me some questions about defense, and I answer them.
Okay, hey, I'm out of it, man. Talk to you in off season, I guess, man.
Hey,
and second of all, I can't feed you. I can't feed you.
Talking to you this week, see how you beat Denver. That's what I need to be doing.
I can't feed you too much. It's right there on YouTube, dog.
Okay. I will say this though. With that being said, one strategy for one team doesn't necessarily mean it works for the other team.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely right. Trust me, I've tried it.
See, and now that's one thing I've definitely learned.
Yeah,
and because your personnel may not be able to accomplish and do the same thing that another team may be.
There are some things that Baltimore is doing this season that they have never done before offensively.
Right.
I tried it. It does not work for us.
Right. Oh yeah, that's definitely another thing that I learned. And then one real quick, one thing we got to improve on in defense, and we got to figure out how to get off the field on third down. That's one. Yeah. That's one way we got to improve.
Yeah, absolutely.
I give you the answer. Be aggressive.
If we just might have to start being aggressive. I mean, to be honest with you, you know, as I stated earlier, being aggressive is something that I've never wanted to do. I've been involved in doing. You know, when Eddie came over, what was that, Eddie, season 10 when you came over, and you know, you was the defensive coordinator, and Eddie was just sitting me. So I was like, Eddie, I don't know about this, bro. Eddie was like, man, trust me, man. Just trust me, man. Let it work. Let it work. You know, just let it play. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. And he wasn't lying. You know, and what is season 10? I think season 10 we started 0-2, and we ended up going all the way to the semifinals. You know, after that 0-2 start, we went on like a 4 or 5 game win streak or whatever. I mean, we was booking it that season. Season 11 really was booking. Yeah. You know. And hell, we came against big bad Alaska, you know.
Yeah. But we was winning that game though to the last few minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. We ended up losing what, 20-14 or something like that.
Something like that.
That's crazy. I know 19-14. Yeah. I mean, it's a strong defensive game,
but not to give too much away. I think we do have some stuff in it that we try to be aggressive with. But as I just mentioned about personnel, our personnel is pretty much geared towards coverage. Roe and Isabella in the back, man, they do a real good job.
Demond, what dude said in that movie? Blitz every down. A yard.
Yeah. Well, Denver, if you're listening, there's not going to be any 4-4 bear or anything like that in there this week.
Well, don't look at my game then, because that's all I did. I didn't have no 4-3, no 3-4, nothing. I was in 4-4. My entire personnel, because my entire base personnel was 4-4. That whole that game versus Denver.
Well, and also see, we got to protect the backside too. I mean, Isabella's still a bronze.
Blitz.
Isabella's still a bronze.
You don't want that quarterback back there comfortable, dog. You want him back there terrified.
J.R.Lawless still a bronze. I mean,
you know how they say, you know how they tell the quarterback 3 and throw. You're supposed to count 3 in your head, and that ball should be gone. You want that. You don't want him saying 1001, 1002, 1003. You want him back there. 1001, 1002, then just throw. You want him back there terrified.
Right. I mean, and look, for the most part, I agree with you, but we only have one silver linebacker. And other 2 linebackers.
I got 1 goal and 1 base copper. Trust me, bro.
Well, you have a goal. You have a goal. That we don't have a goal at linebacker.
Yeah.
Or any goals.
But your D line eating though, man. Blitz,
they're doing the job. They're doing the job for sure.
Nuts. But
gotta get them more active over the next last 4 games too.
I'm sure.
To answer your question, Ashley, when I got the team in season 14, I've never done offense before. I was always terrified of it, and I didn't even want to try it. Mark, the owner of Atlanta, told me, Eddie, you should do it. Just get your feet wet and figure it out, because at the end of the day, if people leave you or whatever the case may be, at least you have experience in it. And I was like, no, man, I can't do it. And I hired Kanye. We had to make some changes and brought on Bovine. He fired himself, so I had to start doing it myself, because no one I interviewed for it, no one wanted it. So I had to do it myself. I'm glad I did, and our offense is putting up points this season. And I wish I'd have took on that task sooner, but I'm glad that I did, because our offense is sometimes they carry us, you know. And like you said, we've had some games where you didn't throw a pick and the offense was moving, and I'm proud of that. And hopefully I can get our defense right and get some more pressure on the quarterback, and I think we'll be all right.
Good stuff, gentlemen. This was a
my second thing I'm proud of is bringing you on as my co-owner.
Oh, thank you.
Well deserved.
It's getting real sentimental.
Yeah. There's no one who says Arizona. There's no one who says Arizona more than you do, and I say that with pride. I'm glad we brought you on.
Thank you.
And it couldn't happen to a better person. You represent us as well as anybody on this team.
And I appreciate it. And that was one of my goals when I came in, you know. Actually, not necessarily when I came in, after I got acclimated with the league, probably my third season. I didn't want to be I didn't know if I actually had to go somewhere else to do it, you know, start my own team to do it, you know. I was offered, you know, but ultimately I'm glad I stayed home. So, but gentlemen, this was a great conversation. I cannot wait to have you back on again sometime soon. I will be starting up my panels for the playoffs. So y'all want to come through, give your thoughts and your opinions on these games that's going to be happening. I'd love to have you. But before I let y'all go, did y'all have anything y'all wanted to get off your mind, you know, before I close this? Something that's probably been bothering you?
Nothing bothered me at all, but just want to let Houston know, man, look, we're working hard for you guys, you know, week in and week out. We're putting in the work. You know, it really hurts me when we lose a game, because I feel like I've let the team down, but man, we're trying to get to that championship. That's for sure. And basically to the SFL as a whole. I mean, I know most of you guys see me every week on with Cam, but I don't know if you really fully understand my passion and love for this league. And I truly have both. And you know, man, I really enjoy getting to see all the faces that I get to see doing interviews and things of that sort, and people that I chat with. So, man, just nothing but love for you guys. I love the league. And, man, I'm just looking forward to many, many more years getting to see you guys and spend time with you, whether on the TV screen or in person.
Love it. Love it. Mom?
Yeah, I mean, Mike hit it right on the head, man. We have a great group of guys in the Houston locker room, along with Lady and Isabella Blackwell. Man, this season is, like I said, it's probably, been one of the best seasons so far. Not to just winning or so forth, but the people that we have amongst our group, is pretty mellow, even after a loss. We got people in there encouraging everybody, hey, keep your head up. It's just one loss, we'll bounce back. Guys coming in, we have faith in the coaches and stuff like that. There was some things that wasn't said, previously. So, one thing that we pretty much worked on this offseason was rebuilding the culture here. We wanted to get people here who was a lot, positive and motivated, not only just want to receive motivation to themselves, but also give out that positive energy and so forth. And I said this before, but I'll say it again. Boy, I love Sonny J. I mean, that young man there, he can make the sun smile, he is so positive, and going through, what he go through at times, and so forth with his illness, and for him to continue to be so positive amongst that or whatever, it's just, it just makes you feel good to have that type of person in your locker room,
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, big shout out to Sonny. He was Hayopo Kiola. Did you know that was his last? Hayopa.
He was what?
Hayopa. I don't think I'm saying it right. I don't think I'm saying his name right. But in season 12, he actually started with me, but he was under a different name. And I think it was Hayopa Kio. It was like a Hawaiian name.
Okay.
And he came back and I asked him about it. I was like, so why'd you change your name? But I just wanted to do something different this time. But I didn't know if people knew that he was actually, he came in my class.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then he left for a while because she got sick and everything. And then he came back to the league, so.
Yeah. Now you're Sunny Money. So.
There you go. There you go. And
he like doing the Johnny Manziel side.
Oh, he does. I gotta have him back on too. It's been a while. I gotta visit him too. But Eddie, I know you gotta get ready to go in a little bit, brother. You got that
I'm
NFL
doing my draft
thing.
as we speak. I just made my first pick.
Dope. But you got some good thing. You got some words of wisdom or something good that you want to say to the people before I let y'all go.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Who else am I talking to?
We talked already, bro.
I'm multitasking, my brother. It's all good. Y'all know what it is. Arizona, I love y'all, man. And we 6-2, bro. We trying to push for a playoff spot, trying to, get into that thing and get back to where we once were. We got to the Final Four, and then James and Donnie left us high and dry at the last minute. We got
bit ass.
the replacements in. It took me too long to, get accustomed to them, and we missed out. But now we back where we belong, and just know I'm out here grinding for y'all, Arizona, man. I'm not gonna stop, man, until we get where we want to be and get what we came here for. So just know I'm out here trying, and I ain't gonna stop until we get there. So. I know our D-line ain't eating like I anticipated they would be, and other than that, hey man, we trying, man. We gonna get there, y'all. Just have patience in me. Continue to believe in me, and I always continue to believe in us. So there you go.
There you go. And then when I get the game, then I'll be running some serious stuff for you on offense.
Yeah, about that.
Don't be shortchanging me. Don't you do that.
Nah,
But nah, for real, y'all. Thank you so much for the conversation. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to having y'all back on if we can. All right.
No doubt.
All right.
Cool.
Peace, brothers.
Peace.
Later.
that is it, everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining us this evening. Special thanks goes out to Fox Highwind, Liam Crowter, Skinny Washington, Mike St. Green, Demond Simmons, and Eddie Gage Shaboom on the show. And of course, my good friend Diggy, my co-host. You got any good words for these people before we leave?
Pay attention to your fantasy football leagues. NFL season starting. Go Bears. And
Yes.
and enjoy. I mean, where else can we say it? We've got college football, we've got NFL, and we've got SFL.
Hey.
I mean, rolling in the football. Enjoy it while it lasts. And like I was telling somebody the other day, I said, it's really only a couple days a week. I think 2 days a week there ain't no football.
That's true.
So I don't know what to do with myself on those 2 days.
Watch reruns.
Well, one of the 2 days I'm here with you, so it's still football. So
There you go. So you really only got 1 day to kind of suck it up. I got you.
Yeah. Well, it's really hurting me this week because I got a bye.
Yeah, me too.
That.
It does. Ooh, I know. Ooh, it makes.
I'm
it
gonna
so
get a
much
big
fun.
enough break when the season's over. Just give me another game. Yeah,
I hear that. I hear that. But Diggy, I can't wait to talk to you again next week, brother. It's always fun being with you and get your opinions on things.
Well, I appreciate it. I really do.
Anytime. But to everyone else, I am looking forward to bringing you another great podcast next week, y'all. But until then, stay safe, treat each other well. For Diggy, Striker, we out. And again, rest in peace, Leonard Butler Sr. And we are not clear. Hold on. I can't move it. Okay.
I think 30.
So you got 30, he got 75.
Yeah.
It's time you negotiate your contract.
I mean, every time we're together, it's just going to go off the rails at some point. So it's all right. It's certain people. I think this whole podcast is going to probably go off the rails because I got Liam on here. I have Demond and Mike St. Green and Eddie. And Skinny. So I'm thinking that at some point somebody is.
At some point, it's going. Yeah.
So already probably be a 3-hour show. So.
All are going to be on this show, the same show. All right, supersized.
Exactly.
I'm over. Wait till the off season. I'm gonna renegotiate.
It's time for you to become Houston's #1 receiver, and he needs to step down too.
No, man, I'm a practice player. I catch about 5 touchdowns in the practice sims.
But come game.
I told him that last week. I was like, shit. Mike, you got 5 catches and 200 some yards in the sim that I ran. I said, oh shit, that don't mean nothing. I'm just a practice player, man. That ain't gonna translate to the game.
That's what's up.
I was wondering how that was gonna work out. 2-star wide receivers, Hall of Fame, and then just a diva. You know what I mean? I don't know how that was gonna work out.
Oh, Mike's the diva, not me. Mike's
I know. Trust me. When he was over there in London, he had his own theme music and everything.
No, Demond, I'm just bullshitting with him. I mean, hell, I'm leading the team in touchdown catches. Ain't like there's a lot of them.
What?
A tall glass of ice water.
Hold on. What?
A tall glass of ice water.
Oh, you are leading in touchdown receptions.
Thank you, baby.
Oh, Demond, you gonna have to change that, huh?
We don't have. Hell, it ain't like we have a lot. We don't have but 9.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's because y'all paid GP all that money, man. You ain't got no room to be sitting there catching passes when you got him in the backfield with 9 animations.
Oh, not 9.
What I do wish about him, I don't know. It seemed like he was better last year out of the backfield. I don't know why he cannot get going with reception out of the backfield this season. It's like he don't break any.
Too busy targeting MSG.
He don't break any tackles or nothing. I don't
Y'all got
get
too many plays to target Mike St. Green.
Oh, shoot, I know that ain't true. I know that's
Called
not
the
the
mod. Look at the money. He was like,
every time I turn
whatever.
around, you know, BRSM dancing in the end zone running the post corner route. Meanwhile, Mike St. Green running the 5-yard hitch. What's up with that?
It's been the post middle this season.
But you're getting them nevertheless, huh? I get it.
But Mike is killing folks on the fade routes though.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
That's what he's
much.
killing folks at.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, gentlemen, this is gonna be fun. You know, I want y'all to have a good time. Just real chill. I actually don't have any set questions besides like how you think your seasons are going so far. What do you think you can do to improve your likelihood of being in the playoffs, all that good stuff. And you know, we just chill together like we normally do. I know Eddie got something to do at 6, so if y'all want to continue on after that, you know, Damon and Mike can do that. But other than that, like that's all it is, just a little chill thing. Because it's been a while since I actually had Damon and Mike on the show, you know, so gotta
What was
catch
it,
up.
all season? Last time we were on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you first announced your name as the Headhunters, and I had a whole lot to say about that. So that was the last time, but all right, we're gonna get ready to get started. Do you need your ice water?
I got it.
Okay, because you know you putting in orders on the phone, like
I need my water. I drink water all day.
I mean, yeah, but never mind. All right, recording in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, why you can't get that shirt in there? Like this out there.
Just stand up, Mike.
All right, that's all right.
Well, welcome. So I'm sitting over here and I'm listening to you, and my hamster is just sticking her nose in her mouth trying to get through the cage to my coffee. Like, this is the best part of waking up. Folgers in my cup, and she wants
Stole the line from me. I was gonna go there. I mean, you know, your hamsters already look like they're on crack. They do. They're just. I mean, and then they, you know, they're always darting from one place to another, and they just stand still. It literally looks like they need a fix. So that coffee right there, if you give that hamster that coffee, I can just imagine. I'd be sitting here in the interview. I'd see in the background something crawl up your wall on the ceiling. Yeah.
Oh my God. That was hilarious. I really wish I would have recorded that, because she is literally. What are you doing? Craziness. Crazy.
Well, how's it every time we get together, it devolves into laughter? I'll tell you, that last interview that I did, I was never seen you laugh so hard when I put the eye mask on and then the face mask, and took them off and said, "All right, well, my cat peed in that." Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that one.
I wasn't either. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't. But the show must go on, right?
And then it did. Oh my God.
I'm gonna start having to come out with the Fox Highwind Comedy Hour.
You should. You should. I swear I'd watch. That was hilarious though, because you were just so sure with it too. He's like, "Oh yeah, let me go put my mask on. Let me go put my." And you look cute. You look cute, and still.
I was like, "Look."
A few seconds later, he's like,
I look like a fox, and I smell like one too now.
Oh my God. Okay. I can't with you. It's too early.
So instead today that I've got other Fox stuff sitting around. There's my shirt, my favorite shirt.
Cute.
That's what my son got.
Awesome.
Or no, yeah, Father's Day. No, he didn't give me anything for my birthday. So he got it for me for Father's Day, and then of course I got the little fox sitting in the background.
That looks like the fox from Carmax. I mean the Carmax fox.
It kind of does, yeah. Like I came across it one day in a Cracker Barrel. when I lived in Chattanooga still. And
that's random.
My ex-wife bought it for me. And now that I see it, it kind of also, it more resembles, I think, a red panda. But
okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They're kind of, if you see any stuffed animals or toys or anything like that, for some reason they start looking alike. It's not necessarily a fox anymore, I guess, but it is to me.
There you go. That's all that matters. Oh, Fox. I love you, man. I love you. But we're going to go ahead and get started. You're a wide receiver, right?
No, I'm a punter. You didn't know that?
I see your stats: 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a hell of a
for a punter. That was good.
Should I need to hire you right now?
I mean, hey, you guys are doing okay over there in Arizona. You don't need me as the punter over there.
I tell you what, if you getting touchdowns as a punter, we absolutely do.
Well, I guess that's true. I saw some of the weirdest things from the SFL I've seen from punting. Mm-hmm. You saw this weekend, didn't you? Houston and Lone Star.
No, what happened?
Okay, so Houston was up in the first half, 24-3. Mm-hmm. Lone Star came back and won 27-24 in the second half, like shut out Houston. But there were some crazy things that happened. The best thing was when Lone Star had just gone 3 and out, and we're going to punt it. The snap sailed over the punter's head, who turned around and ran to go get it, got it in the end zone, turned around to kick it, only for it to be blocked by, I think, the back of another Lone Star player, like it hit his helmet or something. As the ball's in the air coming towards a Houston player, the player turns around to face the opposite direction and just flops on the ground like he's trying to dive to catch it. But from his positioning, it just hit him in the back. Like he could have caught it if he just looked at it, but he turned around and looked at the scoreboard on the other end of the stadium and like waving at his mom and dove, and it hit him in the back, and Lone Star recovered it. And then they went 3 and out again.
Oh God.
So it's always Lone Star. It's always Lone Star now that I'm thinking about it, because Lone Star, I think it was a couple seasons ago, 2 or 3 seasons ago, their punter, okay, the ball was snapped, the punter grabbed it, it was blocked, the punter picked it up and ran it for a first down. Generic punter. Just, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
That is nuts. Oh, you've got
to watch that clip. Yeah,
I do. Oh,
if you go on YouTube, Harish has a new channel on.
Yes.
Not on YouTube, on Twitch. The SFL Pause.
Yes, I saw it on Twitter. I actually followed it.
Go on Twitter and watch. It's one of those. It's like in honor of this. This is the clip we're starting off with. Blah blah blah. Something like that. It's one of those posts. Yeah, you need to watch it. He put the Benny Hill music.
Like you couldn't even write the script. I mean, literally.
I was sitting here like I was gonna type something, and I was like, "What do I type? I don't even know what to put down. I don't even know what to write." So I just went WTF.
That's it.
The best thing I could think of. Yeah.
That is it. Oh my God. Well, we're gonna get started.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know I keep talking.
You're good. No, you're good, man. Because now we got about 40 minutes on here, which probably, so if this goes off, I'll just bring up another room. It's all good.
Okay.
All right. Recording.
Well, hey, wait. Would you rather just cut the room out now and then come back so we don't have to stop later? Because if you have to, is it like you have an hour in the room?
It's like 40 minutes in the room.
And then it shuts down? Oh.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's all good.
All
right. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.